Welcome to the Next Dimension Podcast, your portal to an extended reality. Every week we talk about the hottest topics in XR and let you join the discussion live on MRTV. And now, get ready for another exciting episode coming up.
Hi, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 15 of the Next Dimension Podcast, your podcast that's all about VR and AR. And today it's going to be the PSVR 2 episode. Oh, yes, it is out there. And as you can tell, we are a bit more people than usually. And I'm super happy to have him here for the very first time, Todd from Q2C VR Gamer. Todd, how are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. I'm super excited to be here. You have no idea.
That is so cool to hear. And you got up really early, right? So what's the time in Canada right now?
Yeah, I got up at like 6:15 this morning to get organized. Yeah, it's bright and early here.
Wow. Okay, cool. So great to have you finally on the show. And also from Q2C VR Gamer, Eric, how are you doing today?
I am doing excellent. I love hardware, so this is one of the best weeks ever. So anytime I get new hardware, I'm always happy. And I don't know, am I weird? Am I the only one who just smells the headset when I take it out of the box?
No,
I just love the head. The smell of the headset.
The same. Yeah. It smells so good, like fresh headset in the morning.
We're all weird then. We're good. We're all weird. I feel better. I feel much better. Thank you, guys.
We're all well.
I'm not gonna say anything, okay? I can smell it, but I wish I couldn't.
It depends on the hardware, definitely. And also here, the only person on planet Earth who does not have a PSVR 2 is Steve. It is Steve, VR Flightsim Guy. How are you doing today?
I'm very well. In fact, it's going to be really interesting talking about it today because I'm going to wonder whether at the end of this podcast I'm going to actually buy one or not. So we'll see. See if you guys can convince me.
Wow. We have pros and cons, obviously, to discuss. Yeah. So who knows?
Maybe we can talk you out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? We're going to find out. And so nice to have her here. Tetiana, Disco VR. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's an extra effort to be on today's show because it was just too exciting to miss. So I'm really happy to be here.
I'm so happy about that because today's show is really going to be super special. Yep. And also with me, Sebastian, founder of MRTV and the host of the Next Dimension Podcast. So for all of you who don't know this show, this is being live streamed every Saturday here on MRTV, but it's also an audio podcast that you can find on iTunes. Where else? Alexa, Google, everywhere where you can find podcasts, the Next Dimension Podcast is there. And if you enjoy this show, it would be incredible if you would give us a 5-star review on iTunes. Simply get out your iPad or your iPhone, find the pre-installed podcast app, find the Next Dimension Podcast, and give us a 5-star review if you enjoy the show, because, well, more people could then find this show. That would be great. Before we get into this incredible show, I would like to say thank you to today's sponsor, which is VR Optician. Oh, I have to click on this button. Today's Next Dimension Podcast is brought to you by VR Optician. VR Optician solves the biggest problems that glasses wearers face with VR headsets by delivering highest quality lens inserts from Zeiss, made in Germany for all VR headsets out there. You never again have to worry about having to wear glasses in VR, but instead you will enjoy more comfort and convenience for your VR experience. Simply go to vroptician.com, choose your headset, enter your prescription, and VR Optician lenses are coming your way no matter where you are because worldwide shipping is simple and stress-free. Thanks so much to VR Optician for supporting the VR community and the Next Dimension Podcast. Yes, thank you so much, VR Optician. And obviously, they are also going to have PSVR 2 lenses. They're working on them right now. And yeah, for people who wear glasses, these lenses are friggin' amazing. Yes. So if you are a business out there and if you want to get your brand in front of thousands of VR enthusiasts, then Next Dimension Podcast might be the right thing for you. If you want to do so, get in touch with me. The link, the email address down in the description of this video. All right, but now let's get into the topic. Before we get into PSVR 2, we normally do this round where we introduce what we've been doing. And yeah, I would like to start with you, Todd. So first of all, how did you get to meet Eric, and how did you get to do Q2C VR Gamer?
Wow.
Wow, that's a story.
Yeah, go for it, man. Go for it. Go for it. Cut it a bit shorter, probably, but we want to know.
We met in 2019, or 18 or 19, on Facebook. We were in another Facebook community, and Quest 2 was coming out, and Eric thought,
Right.
you know what, we should start a Facebook group dedicated to the Quest 2. So we started one, and I just saw the potential of it growing like crazy. So I sent him a message right away and said, hey, if you ever need any help, moderation, or running the show, just by all means let me know. I'm totally interested in helping out. And it was
Okay,
I don't know,
cool.
a couple days later, he sent me a message and said, okay, I need help.
Perfect. That's really cool. And so you were into a VR already before?
Yeah, I
Or
used
was it
the Windows mixed reality headset that's behind me. That was my first one. Yeah.
That's why this channel is called Mixed Reality TV, because actually I thought probably I should just cover this mixed reality glasses, but then turned out, yeah, others were more interesting.
Yeah, right. And that's kind of
Microsoft
how we
asked me, okay, I want to do this project. How can I do that? And yeah, then I can help them. And probably that's also something that you guys can do or are already doing, right? I know Eric is doing
kind of
that
already
already.
doing. Eric's doing it with Impact Reality.
Exactly,
Him, Jasmine,
yeah.
and Steva. And
Yeah,
who knows,
perfect,
in the
yeah.
future here, I might be joining them on
Yeah, who
a
knows?
little bit of a basis for projects. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you started with the Windows Mixed Reality headsets, and then you went to the Quest and loved it, obviously, right? You've been spending so much time with that and with your shows and stuff. So now, what are your headsets right now? Do you have more?
Yeah, I've got the PSVR 1, of course. I started with that one originally, and then went to the mixed reality headset, which I never touched the PSVR 1 again once I went to that.
Yeah, right.
I have a Quest 1, a Quest 2, a Quest Pro, a Pico 4, a Pimax 8KX, an Index.
Okay. Okay, I got it.
10 headsets.
All right, perfect. So you've probably watched lots of MRTV before, me checking out those headsets and stuff.
I'm a bit of a junkie, yeah.
Okay, great. I like that. So what is your go-to headset right now? Is it the Quest or the Quest Pro, or what is it now?
Honestly, depends on what I'm doing. I do a lot of Neos in VR. I do.
Nice.
I spend a lot of time in my Index.
Right.
If I'm gonna do any like physical games, I definitely go to the Quest. But now with the PlayStation VR 2, it's kind of taking most of my time.
yeah, of course. Yeah, let's find out if this is going to be like it's going to keep on going like this, or is it just like because it's new now? We will find out.
Yeah.
Okay. Hope we're still there, because some people said they lost the stream for a couple of seconds, but we're back now. Okay, we're back now. Perfect. Okay, so how did your last week look like, Todd? There were any games that you played? Probably you played PSVR games. Of course you did. You played Horizon.
It's a rhetorical question.
Yeah, right.
So what did you play on PSVR 2 already?
I played Song in the Smoke. I played Light Brigade. I played Gran Turismo 7, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Right.
I can't remember. It's been just a whirlwind. I haven't
Horizon?
played Horizon yet. Horizon.
Oh, you haven't played? Oh, okay.
No,
you've been keeping the best for last.
Yeah, I played Horizon at CES, so I'm familiar with it.
You don't need to. Yeah, okay.
But today is Horizon, and
if everybody new again somehow.
Oh, it's super exciting again.
Like, right?
Yeah, I'm like giddy every time I come into my office. I'm just like, giddy. What am I going to play now?
Giddy. That is perfect.
It's amazing you say that. I have so many people that told me that they have kind of lost their enthusiasm for VR over the last year. And like people that are in the industry, like huge influencers that have said, I was just kind of like starting to lose it. And I am super excited for VR again now. So, whether you don't like the headset or don't like the headset, at least it brings a lot of buzz.
It does for sure. Yeah, cool. Todd, thank you so much. And yeah, thanks for being on the show today. That is really exciting.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Eric, man, good to see you again. So tell us, how are you doing? And also tell us, how has your week been like? Probably the same like all of us, right? Excited about PSVR 2? Tell us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's been a crazy week. It's so good. Yeah, I ordered like I did like everybody else. I pre-ordered the headset in November, and then last week or the week before, last week I got my order. It said, hey, it's going to ship. We're going to take your money. So they took the money out of my account. They put it on hold, so it's like in a pending account. So until they ship it, they don't take the money yet. They just put it on hold. Well, everybody else was getting their shipment information, and I wasn't. So it was Saturday. It was Saturday, and it was like late Saturday, and all of a sudden, I still hadn't had my shipping info, and everybody else was posting, shipping info and things. I was like, I'm in trouble. So I happened to just check my bank account, and the money was put back in my bank account. It was no longer on hold. So I'm like, something's wrong here. I'm not getting this headset now. So I freaked out at 4:00 in the morning on Saturday into Sunday. I'm like, I better order it. So I went to PlayStation Online. I ordered another one and paid through PayPal this time. And then I had my shipping. And then all of a sudden, Monday, I had my shipping for this new headset. And I'm like, well, the other one must not be coming. And then on Tuesday, I got another thing that said, yeah, this one's shipping too. And then now I have two PlayStation VR 2 headsets that showed up on the doorstep.
I need one, so send it my way.
Giveaway.
Giveaway time. Exactly.
Giveaway time. It's good. Giveaways work really well for channels in general. So yeah, do it. It's cool. Yeah. We have already talked about getting new VR hardware when we talked about the Quest Pro, and probably it's the same feeling all over again, right? The new hardware, the thing that makes our favorite hobby even better or different. And you got the feeling again, right, Eric?
I do. I mean, we all love software. Software drives the industry, but to me, I mean, I think the same thing for you. Hardware, I love I just love hardware, whether it's good or bad. I love going through it. I love doing the breakdown of it. I love, checking every new little piece of it out. So yeah, I mean, hardware is super exciting for me. Some people are like, I mean, I love the games and everybody's excited for games, but I am just as excited just to check out the hardware. So yeah, this week is extremely exciting for me.
Great. So what have you been doing on your channel, Q2C Gamer, last week or the last couple of weeks? Did you already have time to show people the PSVR 2, or have you been live streaming games?
Yeah, we actually haven't live streamed any games yet. We covered it on Thursday, on our Thursday live show. We went through everything that we've been playing. It was only like a day and a half or so, but we had gone through pretty much everything we were playing. We went through our impressions of the headset itself and how it fits and how it feels, and we gave our first impressions of the headset. But that's pretty much it. I think this weekend, tonight, will be our first actual live stream where we're live streaming gameplay, because we stream live every Saturday night gameplay. So tonight will be the first night. Yeah,
nice. And we are now friends on PSN, so we can play together. I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be fun. GT7 there's gonna be crazy battles among all the content creators.
Oh my god, it's gonna be
oh my god, we're really good.
Yeah, I assume we're gonna talk some GT7 later, because I have lots to say about that game.
Yeah, same here. I was so surprised.
Life, Alex. Let's be honest. So I can understand why you guys are so excited, actually, because of that.
Right. And right.
Yeah. So from a flight sim point of view,
you can just play this forever. I totally get it.
Absolutely, because it's such a massive, complex experience that every single time you fly, you can do. It's an infinite amount of things you can do in a flight sim. So
and then probably you can get the same game, and then you just get a new airplane, and then it's all new again.
Exactly that. Or emotion sim.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
That's going to be a huge rabbit hole to go down to. Just getting emotion sim, and oh my god, that's going to. I have to get into that next.
It's incredible, but yeah, but yeah. So I'm so pleased for the VR industry as a whole, like the gaming industry, to have this new platform and to have fresh content. It's exciting me, and yet I'm not really usually that interested in this sort of thing, but I'm quite tempted to get one, to be fair, because I've obviously been watching loads of videos about it, and it seems pretty positive overall. So yeah, I'm very intrigued to see if you guys can convince me to get one.
Let's see. Yeah, tell us a bit about your new motion rig, because last week you were not there in this show because you were actually building your motion rig with your hands.
With my bare hands.
With your bare hands. So tell us about that. What kind of device is it, and is it good?
It's so funny because I remember, Seb, you're like, can you make the podcast? I was like, yeah, hopefully we'll see how I get on. And at about 2:00, I was like, yeah, I'm like knee deep in screws and spanners and like everything. It was just a mess. But I'm quite proud of myself, actually, that I did build it myself, and it's a DOF Reality H2, so it's only 2 degrees of freedom. But in that, you get a lot more experience than I thought. It's not just, well, it is just pitch and roll, but it's very clever the way the motion rig works, because you even feel a sense of yaw at times with the software. You can tweak all the settings, and things like braking forces, acceleration, and engine vibration. It's all there. And it's quite an incredible experience. And my first video of it I put on the channel a couple of days ago, I was just so blown away with it. Absolutely amazing. Obviously, once you're in VR, you don't need that much movement, to be fair. You don't need massive amounts of movement for it to translate to something that you can feel, because you're already in VR.
Right? Yeah. Just like the rumble on the PSVR 2, it helps so much. It's just a rumble.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So how expensive is a motion rig like this, like the one you have?
Well, I think it's very cheap, because it's about £1,500, £1,600. So I'm not quite sure what that would be. But for what it does, if you think about motion rigs of where they've come from, even a few years ago, you're probably looking at close to 5, even 10 grand for something like this. So, of course, the Yaw sort of brand came out, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the Yaw 2 can do. And that really drove the price down. I think DOF Reality, what they're doing with this is very clever, because it's modular. So I could quite easily, even though this is 2-axis, I could easily change this to 3 DOF and then 6 DOF over time. So I don't have to buy a brand new motion rig. I can just upgrade it as I want to, which I think is very cool. So it's quite a, it's obviously very expensive, but if you think about, what I'm doing here and the experience I'm getting, God, you wouldn't be able to pay for that anywhere just a few short years ago. To have that in your own home is just unbelievable. It really is. So I'd highly recommend it.
Is it taking a lot?
Not really. No, I was quite surprised, because I've got the smallest little man cave you've ever seen in your life. It really is ridiculously small. And I'm looking at it now. You can't really see it because this backdrop, because it's a mess in here at the moment. But no, it fits in here perfectly fine. In fact, I realized about just before the podcast, I thought, damn it, I haven't actually got a chair. So I had to go and buy a chair and put it together. Otherwise, I'd have had to do the podcast in the motion rig, which kind of been quite funny.
That would have been cool.
That would have been cool.
You should have done that.
Yeah. So if I suddenly drop out of and fall over, it's because I haven't put it together properly. So apologies for that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. Cool. Steve, let's find out what we have to tell you today about the PSVR 2. Great that you're here today.
Please let me know everything.
We will.
All ears. I'm very intrigued.
We will, and probably you'll have some questions for us that we can answer you today. So it's going to be interesting.
Yes.
Perfect. And Tetiana, how was your last week?
Well, first of all, happy PSVR 2 week, everyone.
Yes.
A week ago, we were all so young and so ignorant. And now we have access to this amazing technology. So this is pretty awesome. My week has been great. It's been very busy. I received it pretty much on the clock on the 22nd, when it was the first day when they were supposed to arrive, and I tried it that very night. I haven't played too many games yet. I kind of just, once I start with one game, I don't want to go game hopping. I just want to stay in that game for hours and really get sucked into it and experience it. So I tried GT7, obviously, and Horizon. And yeah, oh man,
Look at that
be
smile.
playing it so much. It's gonna, because they're so different. And we were just talking about hardware versus content, and Eric was saying that hardware is really exciting, but games are also exciting, because even at CES we tried so many headsets. It was really the conference, that convention that was targeting primarily hardware devices, at least when it comes to VR. Most of the stuff that I tried was headsets. And the only really stand that wowed me in terms of content was PSVR 2, because that was the only one that actually showcased something that would actually show what that technology can do, what that headset can do, with the headset rumbling, with the colors, with everything. So it's just a PSVR 2, for me, it's like a full package. It's an awesome VR headset that can offer you like a really good quality of VR, incredible games to go with it. So you don't really have to like compromise with it. So I think that's my favorite thing about it, and I think that's why people love it so much and why people are so excited about it, because it's so easy to get in it, to get this top quality of VR, and to have some like extremely awesome titles. So you don't have to just sort of enjoy mobile style games, or you don't have to spend a long time setting it up. Yeah, it's just great. And I remember someone said on Twitter, I think actually maybe it was Matt from BMF, that ever since we got PSVR 2, I have a feeling like I'm just demoing it, like I'm sampling it, and I'm gonna have to send it back. As for some reason, it gives the feeling like, oh, I have to play it so much because I don't have much time. Like I only have a little bit to kind of enjoy it. The feeling that, okay, this awesome technology is actually mine to play anytime I want now is still like not here. I think we are all a little bit starstruck now.
True, we are. So, what kind of content did you already do about it, or you have not? I know you made the video about the charging dock.
Oh yeah. That's the one
Right?
thing that I immediately
Like
kind of,
you
because
hated it, right?
yeah, and a lot of people disagreed with me, but it's okay for you to disagree. I hate it. You don't have to. Okay. So I did the live unboxing because I don't usually make like unboxing videos. I don't think they're very interesting to watch, but I do like doing live streams for that, so that it's like an opportunity to catch up with the community, to see like my raw reactions on the headset. So it was really fun, and I can be like really authentic about my impressions. What is in this box and how user friendly it is. And that's when I actually showed what it's like to get that charger out of the box and connect it, and what you can actually face with it. What kind of issues there can be if you don't know what to expect. Because I specifically didn't look. Sorry?
Yeah. It was that charging dock behind you looks pretty cool though. That's a new one? The one that's on
Yes,
that
that's
looks
the
pretty cool.
alternative that I found. And
Yeah, that one's in a video too.
It looks cool.
Just
it looks better.
throw some LED lights and I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, right.
It has LED. Are you kidding me? How expensive is
Yeah.
it? Where can I buy it?
Yeah, right.
I need it here for the bag.
It's really cute because it has these little bubbles in there. The camera doesn't focus very well on them, but it looks so cute. Like I like it, and it has the headset stand. It has the controllers charger with the LED lights that actually show you. Because the original charger doesn't even have any LED lights at all. The only lights you can see are on the controllers itself, but I mean, you always have them. So anyway, I have my own grips with that. And there's also a little stand for your headphones. So I like my whole VR composition to be in the same place, and it's cheaper than the official one. And
I really didn't expect to have an accessory available for the PSVR 2 already. So it's good to see that there's already things out there.
Oh,
it's only been
yeah.
out 5
There's
minutes.
a lot of them out there
There's
already.
a
Like
lot
I
of
look
them.
Oh,
at,
yeah.
if you look on Amazon right now, there's probably about 10 of them already, like charging
Wow.
docks that you can get.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so essentially that's the official one, and I like the form factor of it. Sorry, I'm not like going to promote it or
It
anything.
looks like the
but it's
Oculus
just-
logo.
It
Yeah,
looks
it
like
is.
the
It
It looks like the
It's-
Oculus logo.
Oh, this is a new
You
VR
think-
headset.
you think
You
you're
can-
troll- are
it
they
has,
troll- are
it
they
has the
trolling
perfect
Oculus?
pass-through. It has the perfect
Yeah.
pass-through.
but it's like a solid piece. It doesn't have any LED indicator, and I'm like, what? How do you not
Ah.
put like a little LED light
Yeah.
that just
Yeah.
shows
True,
you that?
though.
it's
You
like
don't
a
know if they're
super
docked
tiny one?
properly. Right. That's
Wow,
that's
really?
my
Yeah,
biggest issue with
so-
it too. You never
I'm
have
like-
any idea if it's docked properly.
Exactly.
Wow.
And the magnets that comes with it are very weak. Like you can place them correctly, but it's so easy to place them incorrectly.
I have
And
one of
then
these coming on Tuesday, and now I just want to send it back before I open it.
I would just send it back. Literally, for 50.
Yeah,
I think
it's gonna be
for
here on
American
Tuesday.
dollars. It's like
it's more than
55
50
American
because
dollars.
it's tax. I think I spent like
right.
65 in total.
Yeah,
So-
well,
Tetiana
yeah,
is
even more.
destroying Sony's business here.
Sorry, Sony, but you should do better
too bad,
with your
yeah,
official
exactly.
accessories.
Do
like
better.
honestly,
You know what?
you really
It
should.
reminds me of Meta. Like how many things from Meta have they made directly that haven't been very good? Where we've had third-party companies
Right,
do way better,
right.
like Bobo or Kiwi.
Exactly,
Yeah,
like
true.
the elite strap, like being destroyed by
yeah.
itself, destroying
Yeah.
itself, right? So often. So agree.
Yeah,
I
they
paid
just don't put enough thought. They
$70
put
for that thing. Just so you know,
Yeah.
in Canada, that's what they cost.
Oh, for that
Okay.
charging, $70
Yeah,
Canadian. Yeah,
70
they just don't
bucks
put enough
only.
thought into them. It would have been a simple, easy thing to make the magnets a little bit stronger and just put an indicator light on that you know
Yeah.
when it's charging or when they're charged. How about a little red light when they're charging, and then it
Wow,
goes to
no
green when they're
indicator light
charged?
for 50 euros is crazy. No indicator
Absolutely.
light? I
That's
mean,
bad.
are you
Yeah.
kidding
No
me?
indicator lights.
Nope.
And the
Okay.
controllers, the way they work is when they're fully charged, they pulsate one time and then they disappear. And it's all just like, what's happening right now? Are they charging? Are they not charging? Are they completely charged? Are they completely discharged? And my charger is not working. So there's so many questions. And so I got just like mad about it yesterday because I just didn't expect to have such a silly issue with an official product that's not cheap. And I just went on and I made a video about it. And I immediately found a replacement that thankfully, God bless Amazon, it came the next day, and I just kind of made a quick comparison. It's not the only one that you can get, but I feel like it has so much more functionality to it, and it's cheaper. So yeah, that's the video that I made, and I also made another one, but it's actually going to air like a premiere right after this podcast because I knew that all the coolest people are going to be watching this podcast.
Yeah, I like that.
And
I like that
There you go.
thinking.
Good timing.
Yeah.
Good timing.
So
Yeah.
right after it, we can just get together and watch some Gran Turismo gameplay.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Gran Turismo. Oh yes, I'll get back into that game as well. Okay, cool, Tetiana. Thank you for your week and great that you're here today. Yes, so for me, everything was about PlayStation VR 2, and it's probably going to go on like this here on the channel. I'm excited about it. So first of all, obviously, I did the unboxing, and I didn't only want to do the unboxing. I wanted to give a bit more value because just putting it out of the box is boring. So I compared the size and I compared the comfort of the PSVR 2 to other headsets that I have here right now, like the Pico 4, Quest 2, Quest Pro, and the Pimax Crystal, which I also have here, which is very exciting. And yeah, the device is absolutely comfortable. In my opinion, it's the most comfortable device that I have here right now, and I really enjoy wearing it for hours. Even after 3 hours of GD7 live streaming, I felt I could keep on going. Yeah, but
Did you have it? Did you have it after 3 hours?
After 3 hours, I was still fine. I was still good. So yeah, it's really good. It's a very comfortable headset. Yes. And in these 3 hours, I broke lots of records of other people.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was working on it too.
We're talking about this is so it gives you this huge motivation when you see the other person's time like being faster than you, right? And you really want to get it. Oh, I love it. Super motivated. Then I did a video about how good the visuals are, in my opinion, in Kayak Mirage and in general. We're going to talk about this in the show, obviously. I did a little review of Pistol Whip, which is one of my favorite games. And in the PSVR 2, it looks absolutely stunning with these crazy colors and everything is brighter, neon. Wow, fantastic. Then I did what I always do when there's new hardware. I did the PSVR 2 through the lens video yesterday. Hope some of you watched it. And 433 comments. So it seems like people enjoyed like watching it. That was really cool. I live streamed Horizon and I was blown away. Really, I was going crazy. This was one of my very best experiences in VR that I've ever had in my whole life. And I have all the VR headsets. I really enjoy doing these kind of things, but seldom do you have an experience like this where you really think like, oh my God, I'm making memories right now in this VR game. Really, like, we're going to talk about it.
I'm glad you I watched
bit.
it. I'm so glad you live streamed it because
Right?
I
wished a
watched
little
your
bit.
reactions were amazing. Like you could tell that you were excited. Like when
Genuine.
you watch somebody live stream something that's that profound, like you were like losing it. Like
I was losing
it. Oh my God! So it was so cool to see. Yeah.
Oh,
It was
great.
so
Thanks
funny.
for watching.
I wished a little bit at the beginning. You said something like, "Why would anybody not use VR?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
I was like, why not?
Yeah, I mean, you're there in this beautiful mountain. You're holding the mountain, or you're holding yourself at the mountain, and then you look and you see like hundreds of blue butterflies flying there. Like, are you kidding me? Why would I want to look on a 2D screen and not be in that and have this memory? Oh, I was blown away. And you know me, right? I'm genuine. I'm not making this stuff up. I cannot even make this stuff up. It just comes out of me naturally. And I was so blown away. Oh my goodness. And then
that butterfly scene.
The butterfly
so
scene.
cool.
That is the game that they like, okay, this is the game that will
play it.
blow people's socks off. And you can see how many content creators, like out of the VR niche, are buying PSVR 2 and playing it.
Right.
And really bringing it to the completely different level that outside of our, relatively small VR community. So this is great to see. I haven't seen that.
I like how you mentioned you kind of said that you're inside the game, and that to me really explains what VR is all about. I often say that when I'm flying, I'm kind of inside this cockpit, and
you're really
what
flying.
VR gives you, you really are in that world, and nothing else comes close. So I can imagine it looked incredible, even just watching it on YouTube as a 2D flat image. It looked like a AAA game that you play just on your monitor, so I can't imagine how that must feel in VR as well. So
it's unbelievable. I was really honestly blown away, and I was just thinking, how must people feel who don't have a VR experience before? That is their first experience.
Yeah.
In my German channel, I said probably they shit their pants. Because it's like too crazy what's going on here. Right?
That's the kind of the first like 10 minutes or 15 minutes of Horizon. I can imagine when you go to this natural science museums and they have 3D movies, or they have some kind of experience that you have to pay like $100 for a 15-minute experience because it's 3D, 4D, whatever. So you kind of get that, experience that you would pay hundreds of dollars if you went somewhere to an entertainment center just to try it, but you get it at home, and you get to do it anytime you want with any game, and the games that keep being added. And so I haven't played like a flight sim on PSVR 2. Obviously they don't exist yet, but even the GT7, like you feel like you're in the car. And that's where I'm like, okay, I'm never playing this game, not in VR anymore, because this is the
smooth. Obviously, you're going to talk about it in more detail, but I'm intrigued to sort of hear what the smoothness is like when you're racing around the track. Is it really like no stutters or anything, just completely smooth experience?
Perfect.
And you get a sense of speed too. Like
wow.
I mean, I'm not a sim racer. Yeah, no motion sickness at all. Man, it's tough for us to say that because I'm sure a lot of us don't get motion sickness. But I mean, I don't feel anything. Oh, okay, so that's good. But yeah, no motion sickness. And for me, it's the smoothness, but it's the sense of speed that you get. Like it really makes you feel like you're going fast. Is
that because it's running?
Amazing.
Is that it's probably not reprojecting? It's actually just at 90 frames per second. Because doesn't that title have favorited rendering anyway? Isn't it? It's got eye-tracked favorited rendering, I believe. So that means it'll probably be able to reach 90 frames per second. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not reprojecting into the 120. It is doing the native 90. So it's not trying to reproject into 120, which sometimes is better. I mean, I like to see the 120, but if you're going to have to use reprojection to get to the 120, sometimes I would prefer the 90. But Steve, what you said earlier about AAA, and that's what I would say is one of the biggest things with this headset, because we'll talk about positives and negatives in this headset, and there are negatives. But it's the sense of scale and the feeling of AAA games together with the hardware that makes it special. So, seeing Sebastian, who has tried every headset that is out there, he's had $10,000 headsets on. To see him get excited about a game like that is because of the combo, right? It's the combination of the game, the AAA game, and the headset.
And the good hardware. Exactly. That's the point.
It's quite... I've literally just finished playing Half-Life Alyx on the Pico 4, and I think this is actually another reason why I'm interested in the PSVR 2 now, because I forgot how amazing that game is, because it's been ages since I played it. And now I've got that thirst for that level of quality. Would you say the PSVR 2 has that level of quality, or near to that? You expect
Absolutely.
from Half-Life Alyx and the PC experience.
Absolutely. When you are in Horizon, I'm not sure if you've watched my gameplay. Look into it, and you will see like how blown away I am. And I also loved Alyx. I was also freaking blown away when it came out. But I have the same feeling now with Horizon, and even some added stuff on top of it. Like, for example, the rumble, the head rumble, or the triggers that have force feedback in them. So you have now more hardware to support the immersion that Half-Life Alyx already gave us. But now in this Horizon world, and with even better hardware and more beautiful colors, like, oh my goodness. Anyways, we're going to talk about this, all of this stuff. Yeah,
it's tough not to jump right into it, right?
I know. I just want to tell you guys, I have not even finished talking about my week. Yes, I know. Yeah. And we're already completely in it here. But I've only one thing left that I did. I streamed GT7. First on my German channel. I wanted to look into it. I had never before played GT7 or any other GT for that matter. The first time I streamed it, and I thought I would play like for 1 hour, have a look into it, and see what all the fuss is about. I spent 3 hours in it, and I could not stop. I was live streaming for 3 hours, and I got so sucked in. They really managed to completely suck me in, and I needed to get that best lap, that best time, in order to completely destroy my buddy Marco. He's also here on the channel sometimes. His time on the license thing. I needed to get him. I was playing the same track, the same part. Like, I think, I don't know, 25 times
over and over again.
Over and over, because I needed to get this time.
I thought you meant it took you 3 hours to do one lap.
No. I was going from license to license, and I needed to win it every single high score or best time, and I got it. And it got me so hooked. It got me so motivated. I needed to be faster, and I love it now. I can't wait to go into it. I was thinking, like, probably I could live in this now, just playing GT7. And I'm not like a sim racer, but probably because of GT7, I will become one.
Exactly. Transitioning to a race game.
Yeah, it's sucking me in. I want to live stream this all the time.
Are you playing on a controller or are you playing on a wheel?
I'm even just playing on the DualSense controller. I don't even
have
a
wheel. Gotta need a steering wheel, definitely.
So I'm doing like this.
Wheels
right?
are,
I'm using
It's a game
you're
changer
using
when
the
you get a
motion on the controller.
I'm using the motion.
Wow.
They
cool.
told me, like the German community, they were watching it, and they are like complete geeks with that, and they said it's better the motion than to use the thumbstick, and they're
really?
right. So if you only have DualSense, change it to the motion thing. It is pretty accurate, and it works really better. So I got so sucked in. Wow, it is so good to have your friends also doing the same laps. They also have to do the same licenses and stuff, right? And then you can compete against them. So I was motivated. And then on Twitter, I posted it that I need now people from the English-speaking community also on my PSN network of friends, so I can also be motivated to get your times, right? Like Eric, like your best times. I want to get them.
Did you beat some of them? Yeah, I know. We got to try.
I haven't looked at them yet, but I will stream that soon again, because it sucked me so deep into it. And it doesn't even look good, I thought, right? I don't think it looks super great. It's okay, but it's just like the gameplay is so good. Yes, that's my little rant.
You quickly forget about. I mean, the visuals are beautiful, but you quickly forget about it because you're having so much fun in it, and you just feel like you're there. I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, because it's not perfect, but it makes you feel so good when you're in there playing. It just, you kind of like forget about any of the little issues, and actually, people in chat are saying it is 60 reprojected to 120.
Oh, really?
I didn't notice any reprojection at all either.
Okay.
So
that works really well.
It was a native 90. That's pretty good.
That works really well. It works really well. I think I didn't have problems with the reprojection in that game.
No.
It just feels smooth.
But
Oh
that's
And
my
it may be
God,
exactly
because it's
what.
immersion.
so fast. It's maybe because the scenery is going by so fast. Maybe you don't notice any of the reprojection. That could be.
Could be,
But
yeah.
I didn't see it at all.
It's great. Yeah, we're going to talk about all this, but now let's start with the show, and let's start with the PlayStation VR 2 hardware, right? And we're going to get into the software later as well. So let's start with Todd. Todd, you are our guest of honor today, and Todd, I watched a part of the show of your Q2C show, and you just wanted to talk about the device, and you said like you are not a console gamer, never have been, right? So this is probably the first time that you got the PlayStation 5, and tell us about your thoughts about the PlayStation VR 2.
Yeah, I have a PlayStation 3, I have a PlayStation 4. I've got kids, so they like those kind of games, and you know, they're in the house, but it's never anything that I'm a Call of Duty player. I play competitive Call of Duty, and I have for like 10 years. So that's PC games are my thing. But with PSVR 2, I had to get a console, so now I needed a PlayStation 5. So the price of the PlayStation VR 2 kind of doubles when you now need to go buy a console.
Exactly.
that, yeah.
So for
So-
you, it was more like $1,000+.
It was, yep, more than that even.
Yeah.
Canadian, right?
You
It
have
was
a Canadian, right?
$850 just for the headset. So
Do you get any
Ooh.
free games, Todd, with it at all?
I got Call of the Mountain. I got the Call of the
Oh,
Mountain
okay, that's
bundle,
cool.
yeah.
At least
Bundle.
fair enough.
Yeah, and then with the console, I got Ragnarok.
Yes.
So
Okay.
it's God of
Yeah.
War. It's not in VR, but it's still a good game. So I
It's
even saw
great game.
GT played it inside his headset on the cinematic mode and said it was
Oh, yeah.
amazing. So
Oh,
Yep,
that
I
mode
played
is
Harry
fantastic.
Potter like that.
I
It's
might
Oh,
amazing.
did you
try that.
really? I
Yeah.
haven't done the cinematic
You
mode
can
yet, but
do
everybody's
anything.
been
You
saying
can
it's
play
really
Good.
good.
It's good.
Yeah.
So
It's good.
good.
Yeah.
And you can
I'm
play
gonna have to
like
try that.
anywhere because I had to move my PlayStation upstairs and I have my reclining chairs there, and now we can just play in a
Nice.
reclining chair.
Oh, nice. Yes, excellent.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, Todd, tell us. So you had to buy the PlayStation 5 in order to get the PlayStation VR 2. So all in all, it is not cheap. It's way more expensive than just to get the Quest 2, for example.
Right.
But still, tell us, how do you like it now?
So much better. I was lucky. I went to Sweden to visit Resolution Games back in November, and I was
Right.
able to play the PSVR 2 and play some Demio.
Oh, yeah.
I had a little first time experience with it then, and then of course at CES in Las Vegas, I got to use it again and play Call of the Mountain. So, I was kind of prepared. I kind of knew what to expect when I got it, but it's just different. Like Tetiana and Matt both said, it feels like I need to give it back to someone. It doesn't feel like the first day I
Really?
had it, I think I played 6 or 7 games because I thought I need to play as much as I possibly can. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
But
like,
it's
come on.
kind of calming down now because it's always here. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I can play it whenever I want. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Todd,
Yeah.
you're in that position that I'm in. Then you had to buy the PlayStation 5 and the VR 2 as well. So
That's correct.
that's my problem. Like I'll have to lay out quite a bit of money to do so, which I could do, but I kind of don't want to at the same time. So, but I suppose
Yeah.
thinking about it, it's still the price of say a Valve Index, and you still got to get a massive, really powerful computer as well. So it's still great value for money if you're going to use it. So
That's right. And
Exactly.
That's the point.
Yeah.
PS5 is amazing.
the OLED screens and with the foveated rendering and the face haptics. There's face haptics in Song of the Smoke. There's face haptics in Call of the Wild. There's face haptics or Call of the Mountain in Gran Turismo. You feel that thing vibrating all the time, and it's just so immersive. It's so cool.
And
I
how
was
cool is
like
that eye
shocked in the
tracking
first moment.
UI? Like when
You're
you're
right.
selecting the menus, and then there are games where you can actually interact with the characters by looking at them. I mean, that's amazing. Like XR Elite, that the tiny one from HTC, that's more expensive than
You're right.
Oh, yeah.
PlayStation VR 5,
Oh, yeah.
PlayStation VR 2, and PlayStation 5. And you also need the computer if you want to play anything that would come remotely close to the quality that you will get, and you still will not get all the features of the hardware. So sorry, that's like a pain
Yeah.
point for me. Like, I know it's expensive, but not in this industry. Like, not
Right.
when you
You're right.
compare it to anything that could come even close to it.
Right, agreed. It's a good point with the XR Elite that it's kind of expensive, right? If you think about like, okay, you can get a PS5 and the PSVR 2 for the price of the XR Elite. But anyways, that's another topic. So Todd, for you, it was worth it. And which part do you like about the device?
It was totally worth it.
Really?
It's kind of
I
blowing
kind of
my
hope you
mind.
say it wasn't. Damn.
Yeah, whoops. No, I'm returning it all. Yeah.
I might be returning it.
Damn it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. There's a couple of things. It's not perfect, but for its value and for how much it costs and what you get, I think you're getting more than its value. It should be a more expensive headset now that I've played with it, extensively. It does
cool.
it feels a little cheap. It's so light, it feels cheap, even though it's the technology that's in it, we all know isn't cheap. It's very advanced.
We've seen the teardown. It's like really good.
Like it's very good stuff, but it is ridiculously light, which makes it easy for you to go into a 3-hour Gran Turismo stream and not even think about it, right? You just don't even realize it's on your face. It's that comfortable.
It's kind of ridiculous, but I did see some creators like complaining about the build of the headset, that it feels cheaper than a Quest 2. I think, are you freaking kidding me? People can never be satisfied. If you make it like more solid, then it's so heavy, so bulky. This is 2023.
I've even seen people
use light materials. Like, this is cheap. Like
the nitpicking in our community for some stuff is crazy. Like sometimes
crazy.
I must like, what? We are only talking now about the freaking Mura. Yes, it is a topic. It is absolutely a topic, right? But
come
on.
Well,
I'm like so blown away by Horizon Call of the Mountain, and I see people like just talking about the Mura.
And cable.
I can't
return it.
I can't. I don't understand it. Like, the PlayStation VR 2 is blurry. Like what? Okay. If I come from my G2 or from my Palmix Crystal and then go into it, like, yes, compared to that, it is blurry. But in general, no. I needed to make that's why I made the Through the Lens video, to just show people, like, no. Because, if you don't have the headset and then you read that or see a video where the person says, it's blurry, you get the wrong thoughts about the headset.
Right.
Yep. I think too, because the headset is bigger too. Yeah, that's true too. But yeah, I think because the headset is bigger, you feel that because it's so light, it almost feels like it should be cheap. I mean, you can tell it looks like it is well made, but it's actually, the headset itself looks fairly big. Like the whole front of it is really big. So when you hold it, you feel like you think it's going to be. You think it's going to be heavy.
It's like comical.
Right.
It is comically big.
Yeah,
it's like huge.
So there's a disconnect between the size of what it is and how much it weighs. So then that's why people are like, "Wow, it feels really cheap." But you got to remember, is people are thinking, it's a Quest 2 where you have all this other stuff jammed inside of it that you don't need here in the PlayStation VR 2, and that's why it's so light. But if you look at it, if you look at the way it's built and how it's made, it is well made. It's not cheap at all, but
I get the feeling
feel that way.
I get the feeling it would probably survive a drop test. If you accidentally drop it,
Todd, drop that thing real quick, Todd.
Oh
yeah, try it.
Eric, you have two. You have two.
That's true. I do have two.
Exactly, Eric. It must be you. It must be you who drops it.
We're disconnecting. I'm losing my signal here.
I just wanted to say one more thing. I've seen a lot of comparisons between the Quest Pro, comparing the build quality on the Pro compared to the PSVR 2, and I think that's a ridiculous comparison. The Quest Pro is 3 times the price, and you need a computer with, a $3,000 computer to get anywhere near the quality of graphics. The field of view is bigger. There's things in the Quest Pro that, facial tracking, eye tracking, that make it unique. I love my Quest Pro. I use it all the time. I haven't touched my Quest 2 since I bought my Quest Pro, to give you an idea. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is nothing compare. You can't compare it to this thing. It is totally different.
Totally agree to that. So Todd, what is the game that has sucked you in the most until now? The game that you want to go back after this stream would end here. It will end, obviously, but what do you want to go into?
Gran Turismo.
Yeah, okay.
And it's frustrating because I have a wheel right here.
Oh, that must be good.
It doesn't work.
Oh no! Why? Why not? Why not?
I got the G27, so it's a PS3 wheel I've had for 10 years.
Okay.
I think we have the same one.
Everybody tells me that you can make it work. So I bought this little resolution 2 thing to make it work. Doesn't work.
Oh no, that
I
is
don't
so
know what to
sad.
do next.
Oh
We just
no.
went
Tetiana,
ahead
if you
and
Probably
get
buy a
this
new
to
wheel.
work.
the new one. Just go get a new one.
I think I just need to
I'm
go get a
so
new one.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I was also really excited about it. Unfortunately, they have a very strict like selection of steering wheels that work with this game. So it's not like, oh, any steering wheel you can just map it. No, they're like you have this, so you can select it. Actually, no, we have a probably different one. We have like a driving force, Gran Turismo driving force steering wheel. But anyway, we were still kind of disappointed. But it was an old one. It was made for PlayStation 3.
Yeah, same.
But
Yeah,
it was
right,
still working
right.
with stuff. But yeah, I think it's well worth the purchase because I'm already enjoying GT7 so much, and I can only imagine that it'll get so much better.
I
Oh
don't
my
do
than
racing
actually
games.
steering
So
wheel.
when I first got
The same
game,
here. I
I
don't
was
do
like,
it.
I'm not buying a
Same.
wheel. There's no way I'm
But now I'm
spending
doing it.
$300 on a wheel. There's no way.
I'm
And now
telling you
that I've
guys right
played
now
it for
though,
like 3 hours,
I
I'm
tried it
buying
both
one
ways.
today.
I tried it both ways, and you need to go get this wheel.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have the
That's the
stand
I
and
think
everything, so I can take the
Go
wheel
get it.
off the stand and put the
Yeah.
new wheel on the stand. So I'm okay there. I just need the wheel. So
Yeah,
So
I
Oh
mean,
my
Steve
goodness.
Steve can probably speak to this more because he is into these types of rigs. But even just a simple, basic stand with the wheel, you don't have to go crazy. The level of immersion is so much different than just holding
Absolutely.
a controller. It's
Yeah,
insane
huge.
how and I've had this thing for over a year and a half, and I've used it once before yesterday, and I was in it for
Okay.
6 hours yesterday on GT7.
Wow.
And now
Okay,
I'm thinking
I
about
totally
buying
get
the
it.
chair. I
Surprised
want
you
the
don't
chair part. I want the chair part. I want some kind of rumble seat. Now I'm like, I'm about to go down a rabbit hole I don't want to go down. Or my wife does not want me to go down. I can tell you that right now.
I
So
totally
for
get
those
it.
of you-
Wow.
Did you say, Todd, that you're not really much of a racer as well? Not much of a race sim
no,
guy?
I'm a first-person shooter guy.
This is
yeah.
what I'm interested in. Because
Same here,
both,
exactly.
yeah, both you and Seb are not into race sims. You both
No.
tried them, no doubt, but now you love them. So what's changed? What is it that's really
It's
gone in your
ridiculous.
head?
Like
It's
when
so
I play
motivating.
when I play a racing game on a flat screen, I find it's so non-immersive. I find it kind of boring. Unless you're playing with friends. Multiplayer, it's a whole new game. But when you're inside Gran Turismo and I'm passing a guy and I can shoulder check and watch as I'm passing him,
And he's checking
so
you
I
too
can cut him
sometimes.
off, and
I
he's
see.
looking at me, and it is ridiculous. And the quality
So
of the graphics is so high, it feels like you're in the car. Like it's
Yeah.
Have you not tried a race sim in VR then on PC before?
crazy.
Has it just been
Crappy
2D?
ones that I
Okay,
wasn't
I just
happy
wondered because
with.
like there is like Project Cars and
Yeah,
Assetto
right.
Corsa and
I
all
did
those in
play them.
VR.
I
Right,
could never
right.
get a set of Corsa to work. So
How does
I
it
just-
compare to those? You know,
Well, I did play them, but I didn't play them long enough, honestly speaking. They didn't like suck me in as much as GT7 did.
yeah.
Like
Why?
GT7,
Why is that?
they kind of slowly get you into it. They teach you what you have to do, and they make you collect cars. Yeah, it's somehow
Okay.
they know
It-
how to make you feel addicted to it. You
So
know,
it's the
they
game
really know.
itself.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's about the game mostly than VR. I mean, VR just makes
Right.
it so much more
VR
immersive,
is just
but it's
exactly.
it's the structure of the game where you always have
That makes
something to
sense.
do. It's not just
Okay. Yeah,
oh,
makes
okay, I
sense.
have these tracks. Should I do tracks? Why? Because here, like,
Yeah.
okay, you do this track, you get that car. If you do that track, you get money. If you get money, you can tune your
Cool.
car, and then you can like
And-
buy a new car. So
So there's a
there's
good
always something
career
to do.
progression. Yeah,
It's
right. So
so
there's a
good.
reason to play. Yeah, totally.
Licensing.
And they've been like that from the very beginning. The first time I
Cool,
tried
cool.
it was on PlayStation 1, Gran Turismo. I don't
Wow,
know,
perfect.
it
Imagine-
was first Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
And they still had the licenses, they had tuning, they had like cars, they had I was so impressed. Like I know the game came out like last year, so I could have tried it before, but again, I had no reason for it. But I was so glad to see that all these basic components of the game from many, many years ago are still there, just 1,000 times better. And now in VR.
Right. And now,
Yeah.
on top of all of that we said now, the great thing is that all the people that you know are in it, and you can play their the times. You know,
Yeah.
that's really that really motivates me so much to see the friends there in the friend list and to try to beat their times. That is really like the extra motivator that gets me going. I want to get back as soon as possible. Amazing.
Yeah, I was the same way. The
Imagine, like,
licenses,
Forza
when you have
Horizon.
to open the when you have to open the licenses, you can see everybody's times on the track. And that's what I spent most of my time in. Like, I wasn't even getting in
Me
the
too.
races
Me
because
too.
I was like trying to
Exactly.
beat everybody else. I'm like, they can't be in front of me. I need to get out there.
Yeah, that is the point. I need to get back into it after this stream. It's so great. It's fantastic. Okay, cool. Todd, so now we know that for you it was worth it to get the PlayStation 5 and the PSVR 2. So now I'd like to hear from you, Tetiana. What are your thoughts now that you own the device? You've played it before at CES, right? But now you have it there next to you. What are your thoughts?
So we already talked so much about how awesome this headset is, and I stand by every word that I said and what you guys said. But we can talk. We can be the devil's advocate. We can talk about
No, of course there are
some
negatives for
problems,
sure.
right? So
absolutely
not perfect.
You've mentioned blurriness, right? And I noticed that the first time I tried it at CES, like things were not completely in focus, and it was not the ideal setting for me to test the headset because, first of all, I only had like 30 minutes. It was like noisy, and who knows, maybe there was some kind of interferences because it was CES, and the guy was trying to convince me that I messed up eye tracking. So for some reason, anyway, at home you could really just dive in and make sure that everything is set up properly and you can test it. I can confirm that the sweet spot there is kind of small.
Super
is it
small.
smaller than the Quest?
Yeah.
What's it like compared to the Quest?
I think yes. I think it's for me. I
Similar.
feel it's smaller. I think it's small. Really. Like,
Really?
I really have to. I have to find it. But the good thing is, once you have dialed it in, it will stay in the sweet spot. That's the thing for me. Like, yes, you have to find it,
Not
but for me, it stays. Okay, for you, no.
Not for me. It shifts all the time. I've found myself
You
trying
still
to
have
kind
hair.
of set it up, and I honestly, I'm still working on finding that perfect position. And I'm a frequent VR owner, and then I have my test subject, my husband, who's not using VR as much. So I'm like, try this headset, see how it fits, and he always has trouble finding like the best position, because you're the only one who can find the best one, and it takes some time, and it took him a long time to kind of find it comfortably, and I still don't think that he found it. I think he's just like, okay, let's just start playing. I just want to see this. So
yeah, probably for you
I
also, he has to change the IPD always. Like for me, I don't need to change the IPD setting anymore, right? So I'm like dialed in, and then it's go time.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. But here's the thing: some people are very impatient. Not everybody wants to change these things if they just want to try a game for 30 minutes. I'm like, it's just eye tracking. Let's just go for it. And then they end up not having a good experience. And that can kind of create the bad impression, maybe undeserved, because the settings weren't properly set. But basically, that's the thing. And there's a thing like, it is not edge to edge clarity. So if you're looking to the edges, even though like there's foveated rendering, you should have it sharp all the time. At the edges, it's blurring. So you don't have that clarity to the very edges of the screen, which is kind of
for me,
disappointing.
It seems like I'm a very lucky person. Seems my eyes are perfectly shaped for VR, and they're very close to the lenses. Because when I'm in the PSVR 2, and once I found the sweet spot, I have super nice edge-to-edge clarity. Actually,
what's your
better
IPD,
than
Seb?
my IPD is 64. So
same as mine.
I'm the average guy.
Average. Yeah,
I am the average guy.
So I'd be okay then, because I've got the same IPD as you, Seb. So I'm quite lucky as well.
What's your IPD? It also depends on where your eyes are, right? Your eyes can be like deep in the skull, so then they are further away from the screen, and that will also be bad. Or you can wear glasses, and then also you're further away, and then also you will have what Tetiana said, that probably the edge clarity is not so good anymore. So you belong to the people who don't have it so good. Yeah.
So far, that's the issue I've found, that I'm still working on kind of finding this perfect position. Then when I was recording Horizon, my headset lost tracking multiple times during those first 2 minutes 2 minute demo, during the most amazing scenes where I was looking forward to seeing, where that huge mechanical dinosaur is like stepping over you. I was looking up, and it's like lost tracking. And it happened several times. And I was thinking, why is that happening? And when I was recording, I had this like kind of a big light, beaming at me. So I thought maybe it's too strong. Maybe when I lift my head, that somehow it messes up with the camera. So I turned off the light, and I turned on a different light. So basically, it wasn't the best lighting for recording, but I think that fixed the problem. I think, but I got very annoyed that at those very crucial moments, the headset kind of went like, "Oh, you have this tracking problem." And the mistake, the window went away in 2 seconds, and I went back to the menu. So I didn't even have enough time to see what caused the tracking problem. So, yeah, not everything is perfect.
Tetiana, what is your IPD? Just out of curiosity, compared to mine and Seb's.
I think it's 65. I'll need to remeasure it because I thought it was 64, but I've noticed that it doesn't look very good. So I think it's a little bit, it's 65, but I'll measure it again to make sure. So it's not a weird one.
Yeah, I think if you have a small IPD, you may have a little problem, because I just noticed that when I first put it on, I had it set at like really low, and it hurt my nose, because if you were down in the 61 range or something, or even lower, the lenses are so close together, and there really isn't much of a face gasket here, and it really hurt my nose until I have a 68 IPD, so I had to go way out. So yeah, I had to. Once I got myself like 67, 68, I was fine. But I think if you have a really small IPD, this might be a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. Right. We need more people to try it out and tell us about this for sure. Yeah. Okay. Tell us a bit more about your experiences with the device, Tetiana.
Well, yeah, I was kind of focusing on the negatives so that people don't say that we are just PSVR 2 fan boys and girls and only talk about all the fun stuff. It's not perfect, but that's exactly what I was trying to say. Absolutely. Even from the very beginnings, that it's not ideal. But once you're in the game, you're enjoying it, you kind of forget about it all. Because I noticed Mura, I noticed, the sweet spots and all of that.
Right.
But the gameplay just sucks you in. You want to keep going. I played Horizon probably for like 2.5 hours before I started getting a little tired. I know I can't really be in VR for like 4 hours.
That's pretty good though. 2.5 hours, not bad at all. That
it's pretty good. It's pretty long.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's nothing, but it has nothing to do with like me not liking VR. The fact that I don't spend 4 hours in there is purely like physical. And
I spent 6.5 hours in the Vari Aero once, but obviously that's a very different type of headset. But yeah, 6.5 hours.
Nice.
Yeah. But then again, for gaming, I can't last any more than 2 hours when I'm actually gaming, because I'm moving around and stuff. So that's plenty of time for me.
Eric, look at all these lightweights.
Yeah, I've done 12. I did a live stream for breast cancer awareness, and I did 12 hours straight in the Quest 2.
12 hours.
12 hours.
Right, that's
it. Hopefully you had like a Bobo or Kiwi on.
Yeah, I was hooked up to I hooked it up to PC so I could stream it. But yeah, I mean, that was a long night. Like I took a couple breaks just to use the bathroom, but other than that, it was 12 straight hours.
Tetiana came in and joined us for that. Yeah.
I remember.
That's
it was so nice. We were playing after the fall.
That's right.
Oh, that is great. That is great.
We were playing after the fall. It was really great.
Yeah. It was fun.
Also, I just keep realizing that I have super sensitive skin, because no matter what headset I wear, I always have.
You got the red thing.
Yes.
I can remember your Quest Pro video. Like you're the first person on this planet Earth on YouTube who has the device or something, and then you show off like, wow, look at this. And it turns out that it's really like putting a lot of pressure on your forehead, right? The Quest Pro. Now we know. Like now I have some comfort mod, which is better now, but the original is kind of like heavy on your forehead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're saying that you played for a long time, and I asked you didn't have any like VR face after wearing.
Not so bad, no, not as bad as you in that video.
I get it. I get it just from wearing a hat.
Stone skin.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel you.
Honestly, the only headset probably on this planet that doesn't give me that is the Quest 2 with the Bobo VR 2 Pro.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one, and I honestly like that's a good enough reason for me to keep using it, because it doesn't give me wrinkles and doesn't give me all this terrible. So because I was playing GT7 and I was recording it, and after that I wanted to record the video with a with the accessory, I'm like, I can't record like this. I have like a line across my face. This is horrible. So kind of messed up my plan. So and again, I'm not the only one. Like my partner also had some discomfort with that, which is weird because everybody says it's the most comfortable headset, and this Halo design really is comfortable. Again, finding the right position can be a bit of a challenge, not even for new users, but for veterans like me. So I can imagine some people still like finding things to complain about, which is okay. I mean, it's not like it's a headset that custom prints the gasket for your face.
Yes, big
Yeah,
screen.
But I want one of those custom printed gaskets. For
me too. I also want them. Yeah,
everybody wants them, and nobody's going to buy them. Everybody
right.
wants them, and nobody's going to buy them.
Yeah.
Does it not float? Does it, obviously with the Halo design, does it not kind of just float above your face rather than being like kind of attached to it as such? Does it have to be?
Yeah,
it
does. The visor floats. The visor floats in front of your face, but there's still some connection, like the forehead, right?
Yeah.
There's a.
You should all just put it on now and just
Is
get a screenshot.
So this is actually not very soft. If you touch it, it's pretty hard. Like the facial interface is extremely thin, doesn't have any padding. It's almost like it's just a rubber, and then you can totally feel the plastic part right here. So I have a notch right here.
It actually might be better with that like lateral strap that we all kind of like put on the Quest Pro now. That the strap that goes sideways, that might actually like Todd has there. That might actually end up helping.
That's the studio form.
I guarantee somebody will have. Yeah, I guarantee somebody will have something.
But do you really need it? Like for me, I really feel like this is one of the headsets where you don't need a comfort mod finally, because I can really like wear it for hours and it's fine.
I think
it's always
a softer,
of course,
forehead piece.
Yeah,
and I'm just feeling mine. I think it comes off, so maybe someone will make a
for sure we'll have some comfort mods. But anyways, let me also chime in now on the negatives. Right now that we're here, let's do it. So I must tell you guys, when I first put it on and when I went through the first setup, I was a bit shocked about the God rays that I saw, because yes, this has Fresnel lenses, right? And Fresnel lenses have those concentric rings, and well, they're prone to God rays, to having these light things. I don't know how to call it, light reflections, or these kind of problematic light thing coming out of these high contrast scenes, especially on white letters with a black background. And unfortunately, Sony has, in my opinion, made the mistake to show exactly that in the beginning. When you first put the headset on, you're going to see white text on black background, and it does not look good. It looks bad. There is God rays coming out of these letters, and you have chromatic aberration, right? This kind of rainbow shining things around the white text. And I thought oh no, that is truly a bad start. Did you also feel like this in the very first moment, Eric?
Yeah.
I did see it. And I hate God rays because and I have a Valve Index that I absolutely love, but I don't go to it all the time because of the God rays.
Because of that, right? Bad. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I am I'm more prone to God rays than most because it really bothers me in that headset. So I did see it there. And and you're right, because for somebody seeing it for the first time and you see it on the menu screen, that's going to be a bit of a put off. What I didn't notice, though, is in the game, which is really where I didn't notice it as much in game, which is a good thing.
And that is exactly my next point. So, like setting it up, I thought oh, that looks bad start. But then I put Horizon in, and I am on that kayak or whatever, and the view gets unblurred, because in the first moment you don't see like everything clear, and I was like, what is going on? And then I thought, okay, it's no problem at all. It's even less of a problem.
You're not going to get
in the index.
You're not going to get God rays in a game like that, though. But what about, say, Resident Evil or something dark with bright colors? That new one was released mentioned.
I think text is the worst.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was not so bad, honestly speaking. It's not as bad as the Valve Index for sure. It is probably on the level of the Quest 2.
So No Man's Sky, that'd be an interesting test.
Yeah, and like Kayak Mirage, they also have those modes where you can do the kayaking at night, and then you can look at the moon, and that's also obviously that bright thing with the black background. And yes, there is some god rays, but it's honestly it's not bad. It's not so bad at all. Just like probably Quest 2 level, so it's absolutely bearable. But I don't think you would ever like want to read lots of text with it. Once this gets hacked for PC VR use, I don't think you want to do virtual desktop to do your taxes on that virtual screen or what, right? And I don't think that's what it's for, right? So, but there is God rays, yes, and there is chromatic aberration as well, and yeah, the sweet spot is small. Right? These are for me the negatives. Is it also what you felt, Todd, about the sweet spot? You as a glasses wearer?
Yeah, thankfully my prescription is only really bad in one eye, so I don't wear my glasses in VR.
Okay.
Most of my
Me neither.
headsets, I have real optics lenses, so I have the inserts, which is great.
Right.
PSVR 2 ones are coming. But the sweet spot is very small. And my only as a veteran VR user, I would say it's not that big of a deal. I can find the sweet spot when I put the headset on. It takes 10 seconds to find that spot. The God rays are definitely there. I think I notice them more in my index than I do in the PSVR 2.
Yeah,
and they don't really bother me in the index. I'm just so used to them. So I don't know. Maybe as a new user, it might be off-putting. I think the biggest problem is the smallness of the sweet spot. Like if I put this on my brother-in-law, is he going to sit there for half an hour and bitch because it's blurry because he can't find that sweet spot? Is it too difficult to tune it in for new players? That's my one really big concern I have, because that could be very off-putting to someone new to VR.
Right. So they should for sure do this kind of first setup where you see your eyes, right? The first setup
the setup is very good. Yeah,
setup is fantastic.
It's
right,
fantastic.
You see your own eyes on the screen, and you see if they are in the middle of the lens, and if not, you simply adjust that IPD adjustment wheel, and you see that also being represented on the screen, and then you're good. If your eyes are in the middle of the lenses, then it will say "bing," and you're in it, and that is truly well made. Yeah. Anyways, so that is something that we have to look out for if first-time users will understand that they have to find the sweet spot. Probably they will. I think.
Yeah, right. And every time you move the headset to someone else, you have to redo that thing.
Right.
And I wish that there was a shortcut to that or something. You know, like it's deep in the settings to find that option where I have to go looking for it to find out how to. If someone comes over to my house, how do I do this all over again? So you found it, but you got to dig for it. That shouldn't be.
As someone who shares my headset a lot, I can confirm this is a big issue. And new users, they do not want to go into those settings every single time, and they just think that it's not a big deal, and they will put it on, and again, they will be disappointed that they can't find the sweet spot, that it looks blurry, and then they'll obviously just start blaming the headset and saying this is a piece of something.
Piece of blurry crap.
I can say that. Okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, of course. No worries.
And that will be it for them, and that is the first impression that you don't want to get from a headset that is so highly anticipated, that has the potential to like completely transform the VR gaming industry. You really need to make it more user-friendly to have that thing, to have it set up for multiple users, because that's something that's like a family device that every family member will be using, and everyone has different settings. You have to make it user-friendly.
I do like though how the eye setup is mirrored to the television, so it is easier to walk through someone because you can see what they're looking at and be like, okay, look up to the right, look up to the left, because you can see what they're doing. When you're trying to set up someone in the Quest and change the IPD or try to find that sweet spot, you're shooting in the dark because you can't turn on the mixed reality mode or the casting until that's done.
Doesn't it feel a bit like we're kind of like having a conversation that we used to have even a year ago? It feels like we've gone back in time a little bit when we talk about Fresnel lenses. And I don't want to be that PC VR elitist guy. I don't. But once you have experienced, once you have experienced pancake lenses and spherical lenses, which is where the industry is now going to anyway, I find it very strange why they did not even. I'm sure they probably thought about it, but it makes no sense to me.
Actually,
I know they said to you, Sebastian, I know they said that it's because of extra light, but no, the PlayStation 1 didn't that have spherical lenses anyway? The first one did. So why couldn't they just...
It did have.
Yeah, so why couldn't they have done that for PlayStation 2? I find that quite strange.
Right, but spherical lenses also have their disadvantages. Like they are heavier, that's number one, and they introduce lots of distortions. So if you use your PSVR 1 and look through it, everything will be fine. But if you move the eye box a bit, you will see that the geometry is going to be completely distorted. And with PSVR 2, you don't have that.
So how come then? How come Meta was able to produce an amazing lens design? That the pancake lenses in the Quest Pro are phenomenal.
They're great. The Quest
Pro OLED is so much better here.
In fact, I will say, because I have tried it now, it's actually as good as the VRI Aero in terms of lenses, I think, and that is saying something. Really is.
Yes.
Wow.
It also has the not in terms of resolution, but obviously the lenses themselves. But it also has great brightness as well. So I just think Sony being Sony. Why couldn't they have just added that extra bit of thought?
Maybe
to that?
price.
Yeah.
Maybe price. It was already climbing so high. That's what I was thinking. Like, when I was making that comparison video, I said, Fresnel lenses was like the biggest shock when you saw the specs
it's
of
just
PSVR 2.
That to me.
It's like awesome, and then Fresnel lenses. And the only reason I could think is just, it's already climbing high. People are already complaining that it's expensive. And I read that they were working on this patented technology to remove the God rays, which obviously it either didn't work or they decided not to put it in there because we see lots of God rays. But that's kind of a missed opportunity here.
Truthfully, for me, that is my biggest hurdle of just buying it right now, like literally clicking on that button and buying it and everything.
But for me though, it's the colors that pop so much though. That like I love pancake lenses too. I love the Quest Pro. I love all the new headsets that use the pancake lenses. I've never seen the OLEDs in here. The blacks are so good, but the colors are so much better. It's the trade-off
super vibrant.
So much worth it.
Yeah.
It's so much. It's so true. And Steve, the VRI Aero, it looks really nice, right, in terms of colors and such. But I'm telling you, the PSVR 2 colors are better. And the thing is, even brighter.
It should be.
Even brighter as the Aero, and the Aero is already very bright, right? The Aero is super bright.
Before anyone says this, right, in the comments or later, I'm not comparing the VRI Aero to the PSVR 2. I'm not doing that. Okay?
Yeah, right.
That would be ridiculous. I'm just saying, in terms of where the industry is going, we are getting that push towards pancake lenses. So
of course,
it's going to be the only headset in say another couple of years' time that's going to have Fresnel lenses. I just find that
I agree with you.
A risky mood.
I agree with you, but they had to go for some compromises to be able to sell this at $550. And again, $550 is, in my opinion, a frigging steal for what you get. Not just the headset, right, with the rumble and all the stuff, but also these controllers, which I think are fantastic. So yeah, it made sense. So they had to source lots of displays, obviously. Right? Then they had these displays, and they are really good. And in order to really make it shine, if they would have used pancake lenses, I don't think we would have that kind of brightness that we have right now, because the brightness is so good. Like in Horizon Call of the Mountain, there's the sun, obviously, right? And you can look into it, and it's kind of bright. It is like probably one of the brightest things I've seen in VR. So I could wear sunglasses in the PSVR 2, and it would be kind of okay, I think.
Is that down to the HDR though, as well, rather than the lenses? But is that that's the HDR doing its job?
I think it's both. I think it's definitely a huge part of both. I think you're getting the OLED. With the OLED, you're getting the rich, deep colors, but the HDR is absolutely a big factor here as well.
Right. So Eric, what are your thoughts about the device?
Yeah, I'm exactly along the same lines with you guys. This is not the perfect headset. This is not going to save VR. You know what I mean? Everybody said this was a headset that's going to save VR. Number one, VR doesn't need to be saved. VR is doing just fine.
Yes, exactly.
The tech industry in general is a little shaky right now, but VR itself is doing just fine. So it doesn't need saving. But this is a headset that's not going to save VR. This is probably not going to outsell the Quest. This is a phenomenal headset that has detractors that everybody should go buy. That's what
Including
I would say. Yeah, I mean, and that's what it is. There is no perfect headset out there. I can't give you one right now where I can say, everything on this headset is perfect. This is the best headset. You have to go get it because everything is perfect. This headset's not perfect, but you should still go buy it. Everybody should go buy it. And we've said this about the Quest Pro, and we said it about several different things, but this is a $550 headset. We have been spoiled with the prices of headsets at $300 and $400. To have what we have in this headset with the AAA games that we are going to see, to have it for that kind of price is unheard of. But we're spoiled with the other prices, so it doesn't feel that way. Again, this headset definitely has issues. There is mirror, there is screen door effect, there is some God rays, and I've had more fun in it the last 2 to 3 days than I've had in virtual reality in a long time. There are multiple games that I want to go back and play right now that I just want to spend hours and hours in. I'm having a tough time making content right now because I just want to be a freaking gamer. I just want to play games.
Yeah.
Same here.
Don't narrate it. Just stay
When was the last
game
time we
and play.
say that? It's not a job for me right now. I want to have fun.
Man,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
so
feel
cool. My fun back.
So cool. It's so cool to see to hear so many creators say exactly the same thing about VR because we're all in it. We all started this whole YouTube content creation thing because we are gamers, and it just transformed, into a job, something that we have to do. It's hard to find excitement. I know it's been the same for me too, but oh my God, I just want to play again. And I have a question for you, by the way, because I know that especially like Todd, you said that you played so many games already on PSVR 2. So really, there aren't that many exclusive titles. There are quite a few that were ported from like a Quest game or PC VR game. What is it about, PSVR 2 that makes you want to play those games, even though they already existed before? Because so far, I've only played the exclusive games. I haven't played. I will, but I haven't played the games that
let me go for that.
That were ported.
Let me go for that.
Mhm.
Let me go for that one.
Okay.
So, Star Wars is a really good example.
I was just going to talk about
right,
that one.
Yeah, it's like
This
I
is the
played.
game.
I played it on the Quest 2, and I liked it. It was a good game. But now, when I played it in the PSVR 2, it felt just so much better. It just felt right. First of all, Star Wars, some parts are like dark and stuff, right? And the blacks are just unbelievable. The whole atmosphere, it feels just better. And then the trigger, the adaptive trigger, right? That is truly a game changer.
Ridiculously cool.
This thing, the controllers are such a huge part of the equation. And that was also true for the PlayStation 5. When I picked up my PlayStation 5 and had the DualSense controller with the triggers, I felt like, okay, that's why I like the PS5 better than the Xbox in general, right? Because of that cool trigger stuff. And to have that now in VR, where you feel you have something in your hand, and then you see also that blaster, or however they call these guns from Star Wars, and then you push the trigger, and it feels like you really shoot that laser gun. And then when it keeps shooting, you feel it here as well. You just hold the trigger, and you still feel something. It's
and every gun that you pick up in that game has a different trigger feel.
Exactly, if it's
every
different.
blaster feels different.
And then I got shot in the face, and it vibrated, but strongly. Are you kidding me? Like,
just shoot me in the face already.
You just want to get shot in the face. I just want to go in and get shot in the face.
Shoot me in the face.
Great point. And a great example. I think you went for the best example here, but let's talk about simpler games like, Demio, for example. Todd, you tried it, and Eric too.
Yep.
How is it?
The difference is more comparable to the Steam version than it is to the Quest version, just for clarity and color. But the blacks and the brights is completely different than any other version of Demio. It is by far the best looking version, hands down. Like I could talk about that for hours. Like it is so good. The color. The gameplay is obviously the same. Everything else is exactly the same. It's cross-play, so you can play with Quest players and Steam players and Flat players and Steam Deck players. I love that about that game. But just when you're in it, the quality is just so much higher. It's just amazing. Yeah, it's really good. I would say that Song of the Smoke was the only one that I played that wasn't completely better. It was quite comparable to the Quest version, I would say.
Okay.
It's they're brighter colors just because of the lenses, but I wouldn't say it was like blow my mind better. Or Demio is blow your mind better.
Would you guys say that this controller is the best controller we've had ever? So, does it actually beat the Valve Index controllers?
Absolutely.
Everything else?
Yes. For me, yes. Just this force
easy
feedback,
question.
and it's really
a better charger.
I love the Valve Index, but the contextual, the touch, when not having a grip button and having the touch is so maddening with the Valve Index. That's one of the biggest detractors for me.
Yeah,
but
to have
other
to
than that, I
squeeze
love
this
it.
whole thing and not feel any feedback on an Index controller is annoying. Like very, very annoying.
Okay.
That's why the PlayStation.
Only problem I don't
it.
like about this one, compared to something like the Quest Pro controller, is the size of the grip button.
Oh.
Okay.
It is too small. I think it should stick out further.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay. You mean you don't mean
tiny.
like this? You think it's like too recessed?
Yeah, I like the feeling of this, that I can, it's adaptive. So the more I
it's more analog, right? On the Quest
it's a more
Pro.
analog feel. I like that. This is a clicky.
Yeah. Agreed.
I'm nitpicking,
Agreed.
but
This is
I don't think it's
probably
perfect,
the one.
but it's
This
really
is the one nitpick. Yeah, I agree.
It's the one
That's it
nitpick
then.
is
I'm not
that-
buying it now. That's it now.
That's it. I'm out. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting.
Gotta be
I
honest.
wonder whether with the batteries and stuff as well, like, is the battery so bad because of those strong haptics? Do you think that's causing a lot of the battery life?
I think so. I think that's it, right?
It's a shame
because certain games will use more of the battery than others, and a lot of them are like shooting games where you have a lot of rumble with the controller. They are not lasting anywhere near as long as, say, a game like that's not using as much rumble. So guaranteed, it's the motors.
Can you tone it down? Is it like a setting in the? I suppose it'd be per game, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
not that I have found it. Can you?
No, you can. It's
cool.
basically when you change the settings for any controllers, like in the PlayStation, PS5, it automatically also extends to your VR controllers. So yes, by default, I think the strength is high, but you can change that. Of course, I would recommend trying high because it's like awesome. But if
especially
you
in the
start
head, when you're
feeling
like,
yeah, when
like
you're being shot in the face, but
shoot me.
Yeah,
you can use Bobo batteries on the controllers and charge them while you're playing. So
oh wow,
yeah, which
it
was reported that you couldn't too. So that's a good thing you said that, Todd, because it was reported that you couldn't.
Like attach it somehow. What do you mean?
That'd be a great accessory.
Just stick it in your
Wow.
pocket. Just stick it in your pocket with a little 3-foot cord.
Oh, so like wires.
Brilliant
to your
idea.
Pockets. Okay.
Yeah. What a
good
great
work.
idea.
But yeah, but essentially, if you play for 4 hours and you notice that it's not enough for you,
and they charge pretty fast.
You want to play more, then you can just reduce the power of the strength of the vibration.
Yeah, so
But
far I
gotta be
didn't get
honest,
into
though.
the problem that the battery would be out, but yeah, for some people who
Gotta
want
be
to play
honest.
longer than 4 hours, yep, go for it. Yep.
I heard about this group button issue from other people, and I have to say, like, am I the only one who really is not bothered by it at all? I've been playing, Horizon,
I think it's okay.
and I think there's a lot of use
Okay.
of that
Yeah.
button, and it was quite fine.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it either
But-
way, so I think I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, and I just remember there's another thing that kind of a pet peeve of mine when people complain about is it's kind of like one of the things that people just find a reason to say that PSVR 2 is bad is that it doesn't have a color pass-through.
What?
That's no big deal.
Why do you
That's
need
no
a
big deal
color
at all.
pass-through
No,
on
it's not
PSVR 2? I
No,
don't.
there's no mixed reality here. You're not doing anything with it.
What the heck? Like,
All you need- yeah, that's
honestly.
silly.
I
It
think
looks
the
clearer than the
silly.
Quest 2, and that's all
It
you
is.
can
It looks
see,
a lot
yeah.
better.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
way
it looks
clearer.
better. It's a very nice pass-through. I've written that on my Twitter, right? In my opinion, this is actually the best pass-through I've seen in a consumer headset yet. So I even prefer this over the Quest Pro. So the Quest Pro, yes, it has color pass-through, but
So grainy, though.
it has lots of distortions when your hands get close to your eyes. But for the PSVR 2, actually there's no distortions at all when you do the thing with your hand. And for
And
me,
then
it's
the
always
Pico
like
4?
looking at your hand. The Pico 4 has very nice resolution pass-through, but it's not 3D at all. But this here, it's
Okay.
nice 3D. It has it's really, really good 3D.
And it didn't even
and I
have
like
to be. And it didn't even have to be this good. You literally
Yeah.
just needed to set up your Guardian. So
Yeah.
why do you need a full color pass through? Why do you even need a good pass through?
Why do you need color pass through at all? Yeah.
No.
Boggles
In the
me.
VR headset,
And I'm
yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a
Totally
good
point there.
example of a VR gaming only headset where you don't just spend your resources and attention to other things like, oh, we have also mixed reality, and
Right.
like some other kind of stuff
Gaming.
like connected. Yeah,
Gaming.
just gaming. This is what we do, and this is what we do really, really great. So we are not going to add anything extra that will increase the cost and not add value to gaming. I love it about them. Very good focus on what's important.
I like
Totally
you said
agree.
Guardian too. You said, did you guys like the Guardian setup? I thought that was one of the best Guardian setups.
Absolutely.
Oh
The way
my
it maps
God,
your entire
yes!
room is
Awesome.
amazing.
Excited about that. Wow.
Like,
Amazing.
it makes the Quest setup look so like outdated
Antiquated.
and old.
Yeah.
They make it so cool.
What's so special
and-
about it then? What's so special
Yeah,
about it?
so
I'm
so
interested.
actually what you do is like you look around in your room and then it will kind of map your room, like where are obstacles and such. So it would automatically find the area where it thinks that you will want to play. So it's kind of pre-mapped already. And then you would use your controller to fine-tune it. So it's very easy.
Oh, that sounds cool.
It's just like super nice. It's just
So
a
it
very
actually-
well made.
Does it actually, like,
grid maps
map-
your entire
Yeah,
your
it
entire
grid maps the whole
ceiling,
space.
your
Right,
ceiling,
okay.
your floor.
Oh,
you're
that's
just
cool.
not getting you're just not doing like putting your controller on the floor to just get your depth or your base where your feet are. It maps your entire floor. It maps your entire ceiling. So it grid
Walls,
maps everything in your
everything.
environment. It's fantastic.
That
It is so cool. It's very well done. And yeah, everyone will have no problems at all setting it up. Yeah, but anyways, like I just also wanted to say what Eric said before, having fun in VR is back. I don't want to say that I lost it or something. I still enjoyed it, of course, as always. I'm very enthusiastic about VR. But now I must say I can't wait to get in this headset again. I want to play it because I simply have the fun of my life in VR. And that went a bit missing. Like all that mobile games, nothing against mobile games in general, right? But I really enjoy these AAA titles like Half-Life Alyx. And honestly speaking, we didn't have that for a long time. But then standing there in Horizon, looking around and seeing these vistas that we don't have so often, right? Probably in 2D games, we have them all of the time, right? Uncharted and blah, 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 right? But now to have this kind of feeling in VR and really being in VR, it is just so refreshing and such a game changer. And I want to be back in VR. So I'm so happy about this device. It truly gives me back this spark of truly wanting to play. Just like you said, Tetiana. Like, it's also true for me. I don't even feel like creating content and editing these videos. I just want to play. And honestly, I'm just going to live stream a lot. I just want to show people my true emotions when I play. So I'm not even going to do lots of like, I'm editing this video now. I'm just going to live stream and just show like what I feel about it. It really makes me feel something again.
I love hearing that. Yeah.
I want to be a hug now, Sam.
Yeah, I'm fucking hooked. It makes me feel alive. Finally, yes.
I was getting like lately, I was getting quite lazy to get into VR, and I would like give in to flat screen gaming, especially since Hogwarts Legacy came out. I would just spend hours and hours in it every day until this thing finally came out, and now I'm back to VR. It's kind of crazy how it doesn't let me stay in flat screen gaming for too long.
I was just thinking as well, like for me, it's the games that obviously it's all about content. Content is king, and that is the real number one factor. Apart from the Fresnel thing, which I can get over that, I can. It's fine. It's not a massive deal breaker, although I'm a bit disappointed.
I got over it.
The content, like I want longevity in games. I don't want just a sort of 6-hour campaign thing and that's it. I want to see like open worlds like Skyrim or something like that, and lots of first-person shooters coming in. And if I could see like the back catalogue of games coming out, because like the state of play announcement, the VR announcements for me personally was a bit disappointing. I was like, I wasn't really feeling that excited about it. So at the moment, there's
some titles that looked very cool. I thought
there was about 2 or 3 that I thought, oh my god, yeah,
exactly. This Synapse, it looked like so cool.
Yeah, that looked cool.
Yeah,
not
looked really good.
really, but, but That's for me. I want to just see where this goes in terms of games. Are they really behind it? Are we going to get some amazing AAA titles, not just now, but in say another year, 2 years from now? I mean, where's the future in terms of the gaming platform?
We haven't even talked about Resident Evil 8 yet. I mean,
exactly.
I want to see Seb play Resident Evil.
Have you guys tried Resident Evil 8 yet?
I haven't tried it. No,
I'm afraid of it. I'm super afraid of it.
Oh my god!
It looked amazing.
You're gonna have nightmares with this game.
I don't have access to that
Great.
one. So
now you can tell. You can tell it's a VR mode in Resident Evil 8. It's not. You can tell it's not built from the ground up. It feels like a mod. Like if you were playing a PC mod, it feels like that a little bit, but it's better. It's just better. It's like having a mod, but be way better, and it looks beautiful. And the headset in that game is terrifying. And that's another one I can't wait to
Why is that? Why are all the amazing, beautiful games horror games? How annoying is that?
I know, right?
Annoying for
and
me.
Have you heard about this game, Switchback VR? Have you seen the gameplay?
This one I wanted really. Yeah. I like the first part of it. Even though I don't like horror games, but this it was the first game that I played on the PlayStation 1. What was the name again?
Yeah, Rush of
Blood. Rush of Blood. And actually, I did kind of enjoy it, even though it was a horror game, but it was not so bad. It was not so evil like Resident Evil 7, right? It's more like a bit horror-ish, but not so bad. And I enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to it.
The eye tracking integration in that is so terrifying.
Creepy,
like if you're blinking and things change as you blink, I can't take this kind of stress right now. Yeah. Like I can't.
I not can't good for you, Tetiana.
Right it's not. I don't think I should be putting myself in this situation. So maybe
even like Resident Evil 4 on the Quest standalone was enough for me. I can't find. My God, this is making me jump. And Half-Life Alyx. Right. Anything other than that, I'm not sure I'd want to play that. To be fair, because it'd be a bit much. But
Half-Life Alyx has its scary moments, but not like that.
It does.
It made me jump plenty. I'll tell you that. God, should have live streamed it.
Yeah, right. So talking about Switchback and the use of the eye tracking, actually. The eye tracking is not just there for forwarded rendering to make use of the PlayStation 5 resources in the best way, but actually it is a revolution for VR to finally have eye tracking in a mainstream headset, which means like all the developers can finally use it. Right? In like PC VR systems, it's completely fragmented. There's the Vive Pro Eye, which has it, and the Quest Pro has it, but nobody actually in gaming makes use of these features because it's just way too fragmented.
Sadly.
And now having like one system where everyone can use it, that actually is a game changer. Don't you think so, Todd?
Yeah, totally. I'm just so excited.
Right.
Yeah, I've been waiting for it since Quest Pro. Since I, tried some of those eye tracking features, and they were telling us like, oh yeah, the developers will be creating all these games where you can look at the balloons and pop them just by looking at them. I'm like, well, show us that. I want to see that. And I never really saw any of this UI, eye tracking based UI in games until PlayStation VR 2, where you could make gameplay selection when you blink and these things are coming at you with every blink, where you can play a game and look at characters to draw their attention. Like this is the native integration of eye tracking that I was waiting for, and we didn't see it in Quest Pro, not yet at least, but we do see it in.
I'm curious to see what they would do with that technology outside of the horror genre.
Well, like
in the state of play, right? The last game that they showed, it was also about when you blink, then you go into the future or something.
Boring game at the end.
So we don't know. Probably.
Oh, Steve is my spirit animal.
But they start to use this kind of technology, which I think is super exciting. We're going to see so many more games that we cannot see on the Quest right now, for example.
Yeah. Tentacular is another one. It's not about blinking, it's just about looking at characters. Because Tentacular, it's a really cute looking game where you're this giant monster with tentacles for hands, and and there are lots of like different characters. They're super small. They give you quests. You do the quests, and then you just kind of have to look at the character, and he will see that you're looking at him, and he'll like hey, I have a quest for you. So you don't have to like click on it or anything. You just draw their attention by looking.
That's a good use
and
of
that's
the
kind of
text, yeah.
fun. Yeah, like in other like even open world games, you can look at someone and they'll be like, why are you looking at me? Like, what do you want? You know?
That's
Just like in
cool.
real life.
For
It
me,
is so
I think it's going to
cool.
be more of the foveated rendering. Like I
Yeah.
want that eye tracking is fantastic, and what you're going to be able to do with it with menu operation and in-game things. To me, it's what they're going to be able to do with the foveated rendering using the eye tracking to see where you're focusing your view and be able to save power and use it in other places to render your graphics better. To me, that's where we're going to see probably within the next 6 months to a year some of the games taking the biggest advantage of, and that's what really I'm interested in.
I was about to say, Eric, actually, regarding that, I think it's quite ironic that the first ever real proper use of dynamic foveated rendering comes on the console, not PSVR first. I think that's pretty pathetic, actually. You know, we've needed that in the PC sort of crowd for such a long time, and companies and you know, like such as I guess Pimax are trying to do it on driver level, but apart from that, we haven't seen it used, you know, correctly to really save performance until now with the PlayStation 5, which I think is quite
with
ironic.
a $550 headset too.
Doesn't Quest Pro
like
use
the
it?
thing. What's
When
that about?
on PC, we have all these hugely high expensive headsets, and nobody has done it yet.
Yeah, the
Exactly.
Aero
Doesn't
has
Quest
all
Pro
that.
do it?
Can't use it.
Quest Pro does it,
does
but only if the developers like kind of
Yeah.
like implement it.
Red
like
Matter 2
Enable
is
it.
the only one who
Yeah,
did it.
they
Red
have
Matter
to
2.
enable it.
Exactly.
Still the only one, so the Red Matter 2, still nobody else has enabled it?
I think
Maybe
as
just
didn't
far
make
as I know, I
news?
think that's the only one.
Yeah.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah.
You think they would make that you know a point of putting that out in social media and stuff if another game has put that into their game. So Red Matter 2 is the only one I've
Yeah.
heard of.
I'm sure we'll see more. It's just it was disappointing that like, you know, when it launched, it's like that's all it did. You know what I mean?
And it doesn't carry over to PC VR. So if you're using your Quest Pro to play Steam games, the eye tracking doesn't carry over.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of sad.
True.
Okay, let's talk about games. So I want to ask Tetiana, from the games that you've played so far, which is your favorite?
Oh, I mean, again, I only play 2.
Yeah, right. Okay, from
Because
these
I
two.
get
Like,
so
you played
I get
amazing games. Which game should we
yeah.
talk first about? GT7 or Horizon?
Oh my god, I feel like we've talked about both of them already so
Yep.
much.
We need some more. We need some more.
Has anyone played?
I tried like really different games, you know. Let me tell you why I like GT7 so much. First of all, it's because I didn't expect to like it so much.
Same
Because
here.
I thought that would be a niche kind of game for car enthusiasts, people who just enjoy racing games in general. And I'm, you know, I'm like, I just want to try it because everybody's talking about it. And yeah, I was just very surprised to see how easy it's to get into something like this when you don't expect yourself to be like a car racing game person. And why I think that this is a great game to get someone started with VR is because pretty much the entire UI is on this big cinematic mode. So you're not being kind of lost in the VR environment when it's not needed. The only time you're actually in VR is when you start driving. And I think that this is so great for people who might be a little bit scared of this motion sickness, that, you know, they can feel a little bit disoriented. It's very easy to get started. Things are just on the cinematic screen, but then you dive into VR when you're racing. So I thought that was a nice touch because it's just so easy to get in it. It's one of the easiest games to try in VR for someone who's never tried it before.
Right.
It's interesting,
Probably
Tetiana,
also they will be excited about it. Like people who played GT7 on a flat screen before and who loved the game, and now to be in the car, it will blow their minds. Great for beginners.
And you can play seated, and you don't have to have like
Right.
a lot of room. It's awesome for any space.
I wonder what it is
Steve,
about that. So I was just thinking, what I'm still intrigued by GT7 because I know when I've played racing games in the past, after about half an hour, no joke, I've had enough because I find it too much. I find it too intensive, which is really weird considering I like flying. But
yeah. Well, just want to say,
Yeah,
you're flying all the time.
I literally,
It's not such a big difference.
I posted a video yesterday of me going all over the place in this bloody motion rig, but yet racing around a track for me, I find it a bit, almost a bit nauseating after a while. I really do. So obviously GT7 is nothing like that for you guys. So I guess maybe it's the smoothness.
I want to go back.
I literally played it 4 hours straight yesterday, trying to open up license. Because what happens is you can't even play multiplayer until you progress so far into the game. And I got stuck trying to beat everybody's time so much that I was like way behind. I'm like, I want to play multiplayer. I need to do it. So literally, I played for 4 hours last night straight just to open it up so I could play multiplayer. And I had no issues. Zero.
National D license.
Yep, exactly. Trying to get all these licenses open.
I think what makes this game more interesting, Steve, is that it's not just about racing. There are so many components to this game. Like there's this little cafe where this guy is giving you little quests, and then he's telling you about these different cars that you're collecting.
I like that. That's cool.
And you can
for car lovers, this is just like the best.
Lots of lore. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, so you can tune your car, you can like customize your car, you can just admire your car in these beautiful locations like it's driving somewhere in Italy, and you can just look at it. So at the beginning it was kind of slow, and we were thinking, oh, I want to race, like I don't want to sit through these chats. So it's not the kind of, I mean, once you get to a certain point, you can't just sit and play, all the races and do laps, but there is kind of like a quest line that you can progress through, and if you do that, then you'll have a lot more variety in your gaming, where you have a lot more things to do besides just sitting and driving all the time. But even if you do that, you don't get sick, which is crazy to me.
Would this cater for the hardcore race sim community?
Yes, absolutely.
Because obviously,
it's
it has the physics. It's
not
known
arcade.
as being. No, I know. So I was just thinking. For all those race VR sim people out there, I just trying to imagine if a flight sim got released on this, like say, I don't know, a really good one. I think that would be it for me. I think I probably would buy it, without even thinking about it then, I think. But because just knowing that I can just plug it in, don't have to worry about settings, anything, go straight into it and have a great time. That definitely does appeal. Without a doubt.
Right, right. But I must also say that people who are used to high-end PSVR headsets and then go to this, they would probably do feel, that it's not like on the high end, right? Like you, for example, Steve, you are already used to those 4090 powered Pico 4, which has a high resolution, right? So I do want to let all of our PSVR enthusiasts know that, yes, like visually, in terms of resolution, this will be a step down. I just want to make sure people understand this. So we love it, obviously, right? We're raving about it, but don't buy the headset and think, okay, this is the greatest hardware out there in terms of resolution. I just wanted to put this in here. Right?
Yeah, you're right. Totally right. What about graphically? Like, for instance, I'm trying to think of something really geeky. Like when it's raining, do you see the rain on the windscreen wiper? Do you see all those effects?
Yep. Oh
okay.
yeah.
I thought
hydroplaning is a thing. Like everything is.
Is it really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm frightening at the same time.
It feels like a proper sim for sure.
Okay.
It gives you that. I mean, you can play it. I think you can cater it to how you want to play. So if you want to play a little more arcadey, you can put brake assist on and things like that. That will make it feel a little bit better for you. But if you want to play a hardcore sim, I think you can do that as well. Especially
disable all the assist. Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty.
You can just make it as hard or as easy for you. And when I went to the tuning shop and my own garage where you can change all the settings of the car, I'm like, wow. There are so many settings in the car that you can tweak and play with. You can actually learn about cars just by playing this game.
Right. Yeah.
And it actually got a little bit intimidating for me because I don't understand most of these things, but the game actually does a good job explaining step by step what all
that
of
is
these
the
little
beautiful
things do.
thing. Like I normally don't even like that if it gets too complicated with these simulators. I'm more like the arcadey guy. I like to jump in, have fun, and that's it. And I shy away from simulators, and I hate crafting and everything like this. I want action. But for this game, they just made it so good. Like even some arcadey guy like me can totally enjoy this, and I can't wait to go back.
It's easy to follow. It's easy to follow.
And it seems like I haven't even unlocked the multiplayer. I think I'm at license 1B. I'll have to go back into it very soon.
Multiplayer is done through the menu system. You have to get to the 9th menu with the cafe guy.
Yeah, go to the cafe. Do all the cafe stuff.
All the cafe stuff, and that'll get you through to multiplayer.
Okay, good. Oh, yeah.
So, Paradise Decay just said that Project Wingman is coming to the PSVR 2. So, has anyone played that? I'm just have to check that out.
I haven't played it yet. I haven't played it.
So there is
I haven't
some sort of
either.
light thing coming.
It's a Steam game. I know people who have said they like it. It's not super sim. It's more like arcadey, I think. But
I was going to say,
Right,
actually,
that's
one
good.
more other question for you guys. Is there sort of a, like the first steps with the Quest and how amazing that is? Like for newcomers to come into VR, you just got to show them that. And of course, it's the great way of being able to get an idea, get a grasp of how it feels to be in VR. I think Oculus and Meta, they've always done that really well. Remember that the robot, that was my first ever experience of VR, was trying the robot mechanics. So
yeah, that was good. Really, Meta has done a great job on that,
good.
or Oculus at that time. Yeah,
I'm hoping, I presume the PlayStation has its own version of that to kind of bring newcomers into it. No,
it's called
really.
Horizon.
Yeah, Horizon. Yeah,
really?
Horizon. Horizon. Yeah, it's like an 8-hour
Let's play
demo.
Horizon,
like,
yeah.
okay.
An 8-hour demo.
Yeah. This was a
No,
bit of
really.
a miss for me.
I'm
I think they
surprised
needed a
by
demo. They needed. Remember PlayStation Worlds for the
Yes.
original PlayStation 1.
That was good.
PlayStation VR 1 demo disc that gave you like, I think it was like 10 or 12 experiences that you could go into, and it was a free disc. I don't know if it was free actually or not, but anyway, that was a good demo disc, and there's nothing like that here. They need something like that, or an
that's a
Astro.
shame.
Well, there are
Playroom.
demos, but there are free demos.
Yeah, no, there
which
are
you can
demos,
download.
but I think they should have like a. I wish they would have like a disc like that one.
No,
again.
honestly,
that
think
thing was amazing.
your first VR experience is so important. It's so important. It's got to be a good experience, because if it's not, your brain's going to remember that,
Right.
and it's going to be difficult to get out of that sort of mentality of VR makes me sick.
You're right. You're
It
totally
has
right.
to be something you're going to love, and it's just simple. So they need to sort that out. Actually, I think.
I truly
Get
think
something.
it will be Horizon for many people. Many people who are going to pick this up for the very first time and who have not played VR before, they will want to play Horizon, and I think they will, right? Because it's a huge IP. It's Sony's huge IP, and it is in VR right now, and it's like mind blowing.
And there's a reason why they do it, the bundle, and they push it so much, so that they want to make sure that Horizon is going to be the first game that people are going to play. And I hope that that's the case for many. But even if it's GT7, it's still going to be an amazing experience for people.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. Exactly. Wow. So cool. Let's also talk about the game that I'm afraid of. Resident Evil. So has any of you played it on the PlayStation VR 2?
Yeah,
I did.
Very brave.
Yeah,
How
I
is
did. I
it?
played
I was told that Resident Evil 7 is like worse in terms of how it makes you afraid. Tell us about how the game is like on PSVR 2, and should I try it out?
You have to try it out. Everybody should at least try it. I don't know if you're going to play through the whole thing, but at least try it. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's extremely well done. Now, I've played it on PC and a mod too in VR, and that mod is very, very good too. But this being natively made with the PlayStation VR 2, again, it kind of feels like a mod because this is a flat game that they made into VR, but it's done better. It's like having a really, really well done mod. So some of the cutscenes are still flat. Actually, all the cutscenes are still flat, and some of the angles, like with your head when you're like laying on the ground or something like that, have a weird feel to them. But other than that, the controls, using the guns, having the haptics in the guns, the trigger pulls are different for the weapons. It's super well done. The graphics are absolutely stunning, and it's frightening. You're right. Resident Evil 7 is probably more scary, I would say. And it's maybe a little bit more action packed with Resident Evil Village because it's probably more, more shooting and things like that. But they're both terrifying. And you go through a couple of opening scenes. You go through a couple of these opening scenes in this game where you're going through a dark forest and things are around you can't see, and things are running across your path, and all you have is a little flashlight.
You're not selling it well, Sebastian. You're not.
You're exactly doing.
You've got to
no, and
live stream it.
You should all live stream it. You should all live stream
it. Oh my god! Wow. So, how about the technicalities? Because I do read about people having problems with motion blur with the device in general as well. So I heard that for this game, it seems to be like pretty strong. Or do you have this feeling?
Yeah, so this was one of the only, well, not the only game, but one of the games where I saw Mura the worst.
Okay. Yeah.
It's one of those scenes where I was talking about, you're in this very dark forest in the beginning of the game, and you're walking through and it's just moonlight before you get your flashlight. Things are so black. And when you look around, it has that look and feel like you have a veil over your face. So
Yeah,
you're
right.
looking, you
Right.
feel like you're looking through
Okay.
it. It's a combo between the smearing effect of Mura and what I would consider screen door, very thin screen door, or very fine screen door. And it is there. But what happens though quickly with that is you get your flashlight, and once you click your flashlight on to where it's not so black and dark, the Mura goes away completely and you don't see it anymore.
Okay,
Now
you get an anti-Mura flashlight.
Yeah. Now you're going to catch it in different spots. You'll catch it, especially
Okay,
if you're
yeah,
somebody
sure.
like us who's looking for it, right? You'll catch it. But I mean, yeah, I mean, and there is some motion blur to certain spots, but I'll say 95% of the experience is utterly fantastic, and it will blow you away. You get a sense of being in the game, unlike you will flat, and there are things that you'll find later in the game, and scale will play with your mind. Scale in VR is such a big thing too, and when you're looking up at this huge castle that you're going to get into, it's an amazing experience. And this is another game that I stopped playing it in on Steam because I was ready for the PlayStation version, and this is how I will finish it because it's going to be amazing. And I can't wait. But yeah, again, it's just like anything else. There are imperfections here, but the positives so outweigh the imperfections that I don't care about the little tiny things. Give me all the good things.
That's the whole point.
I think that's exactly the point, right? It has its shortcomings, right? Yes, there is Mura, and yes, the sweet spot is small, but overall, it brings you fun, unbelievable fun that I haven't had in a long time. So yeah, that's the great thing about this device. Todd, what about Resident Evil Village? Is it something that you want to play?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm not a big horror guy either.
Okay, but you can do it. You're not too afraid.
No, yeah, I'll do it. The only part that I'm not looking forward to is how much flat's involved. I find it interesting that Tetiana was talking about it with Gran Turismo 7. The amount of flatness in that game kind of annoyed me. I think
really?
that like where the map is, and you're looking at the cafe to pick, and you're looking at I feel that could have been inside of an apartment or something, and you walk up to the wall and you see, and then you can pick. Or I walk up to the tabletop and then I can pick the garage, and then I go into the garage. Or I think it could have been a little more immersive than just the only part of the game that's virtual reality is driving. The rest of it is not.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's definitely see what you mean there, Todd.
It makes sense.
That would be a lot of work.
Yeah, when you come out of the VR part, and if I'm looking away, because of the foveated rendering and the eye tracking, that menu system could be down here now because that's where I was looking when I came out of the thing. So I found that I'm constantly resetting I'm looking forward and constantly resetting it. Inside VR, it never happens, like when you're driving. But almost everywhere else, it was driving me kind of crazy. And that might be nitpicking, but I found that there could have been more ways to make it more virtual reality. So with RE8, I don't know if I'm going to be disappointed with the amount of flatness. I don't know. We're going to have to try it.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So the thing is, for me, like when I'm so scared, I can't solve any puzzles anymore. I can't. I'm telling you, no, really. Like I can't concentrate on that stuff. So I can't finish it. I cannot play this, right? So
right. Everybody in chat right now. Let's have a vote. Everybody give a thumbs up to the video if you want to see Sebastian stream Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody wants to see that.
Yeah. I'm doing that as well. Definitely.
I like that.
Yep, that's it. Yep.
Thumbs up. You're right. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So Tetiana, are you also going to play Resident Evil 8 on the PlayStation?
I have a good excuse to not put myself under. I have a safe. Like I'm not supposed to be stressed out.
I like it.
So otherwise I definitely would have gotten into it. Like I was looking forward to it, but darn it. Can't get stressed.
Right. Oh yeah.
But we'll see.
Right.
We'll see. I might just play for the first 30 minutes until I get like too scared. Because I'm curious about it.
That's the point for me too. I want to see how it looks, right? But then when it gets scary, I think I can't do it. So probably the shortest stream ever. But
I'll need people to talk to me. I'll need people to be there and like talk to me and
I got it.
distract me and make me feel
We
like
get in
I'm
a
not
Discord
alone.
call so we can be in the chat with you while you're doing it. Make you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
That's
Yeah.
That's fun.
That is truly like one of the only thing that I think Sony has missed, that I'm not able to read the chat anymore.
Yeah.
On PlayStation VR 1, there was amazing, like putting the chat into your field of view when you played, and they have left it out, and I so hope that Sony's going to bring it back. Sony, if anyone from Sony is watching this, please bring back the ability to read the chat. So yes, I can have the audio, I can have them read the chat for me, which also works okay, but it can get too distracting if lots of people like chat with you, right?
Right.
So I really hope that they're going to put it back. Do you think they will put it back, Eric? Do you have a feeling about it?
I do. I know some creators who are giving feedback to PlayStation right now. So hopefully they'll listen. You know what I mean? Because it's important. And I think it's one of the biggest things that Meta has always missed on with the Quest 2 and making it difficult to stream in the headset. And I think it's super important. It's good for VR when creators can do these things. And when you tie their hands, it just makes it difficult. You know what I mean? So I hope they do. It'll just make our lives so much easier.
Right.
And we want to communicate with our community. You know what I mean? That's a big thing. One of the things I love about streaming is I get to talk to people.
Exactly.
You know,
that's the fun part.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things we do are recorded content where we don't get to speak to the community who would like to speak to us. So when you can be in something and be having fun, and then you can, express that to people and talk to them back and forth, I think it's a big deal. So I think it needs to be there.
Can't you pin a web browser inside any game now with Quest? Or is it only in the home? Yeah, I thought you could.
In the pause.
I'm not sure.
No, but you have to.
Oh, it's
stop
only in the
game.
pause menu.
Yeah, right. It's not like you cannot put it into VR yet.
Right.
Yep, that would be great though. That function, yeah.
But
That's why I end up streaming so many Steam games, because I can do it with my dashboard.
Totally agreed.
But at least the recording is so good on PSVR 2. Like you can record and you don't have to worry about. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it being corrupted. The quality is awesome. I don't even think that. I mean, I don't think it has some kind of image stabilization, but it looked fine. All the recordings that I've did, they didn't look too shaky, in my opinion. I was very impressed by that. When I was recording Horizon, I was kind of stopping every 20 minutes just because I was still scared. But with GT7, I was just kind of recording for an hour, I think, straight, and it's just flawless. Really good. Happy about that.
Yeah, totally agreed. That is fantastic. All right.
And it will encourage other creators to do that too, because isn't that like a blocker for many kind of creators that are outside of the VR niche, just because of how hard it is to create content and to record it with other headsets?
I think we'll get quite a few new creators with a PSVR 2. I think so. It makes sense. It's a whole new beginning now somehow. All right, we already spoke for 2 hours and 5 minutes about the PSVR 2, and
oh my god,
that went so fast. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. And now I want to hear from Steve. So after these 2 hours of hearing about the PlayStation VR 2, what are your feelings now about it? Like, are you closer now to jumping in?
I am. I just feel that I just want to sort of wait and see what else comes out for it in terms of content. I'm sure there'll be some amazing games planned, but I just feel like I'm just not quite ready yet to. Because if I already had a PlayStation 5, I probably would it would be an impulse buy, but I just feel like that's all I'd use it for. The PlayStation 5 would just be used purely for VR. I'm not sure if Todd's done the same thing, whether you just bought it just for VR or whether you're going to use it. You have it. Oh, I was hoping you would say that. Damn it. I think the problem for me is I'm so invested into flight sims. I spend a lot of time flying in VR. Would it be a waste of time, waste of money spending?
It's time now to get into racing sims.
Yeah, there you go.
Really. I told you, I am not a racing sim guy, but I love it.
I am closer.
You are now.
I think I am closer to buying one. Is there any deals out there where you can get the PlayStation 5 and the VR 2 and a couple of games? Is there anything like that? Okay. I might wait.
That would be
good
nice.
idea, though. Yeah.
I think they should do it. They should definitely do it.
Well, if they do that, I think that would be it. I'd have to press the buy button at that point. But I'm
PD.
I'm tempted.
Hello, PD.
Oh,
And,
thank you, Paradise.
He
There you
says
go.
that you can go to his house and
Yeah.
just try it out,
That'd
like
be
Gary
great.
There you
did.
go. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not far away from you actually,
Aw.
so yeah, I will take you up
Oh,
on
you
that. That'd be
guys.
amazing. Thank you. And then I will definitely know. Then I guess that will be
For
the
sure,
Exactly.
yeah.
That would make
factor.
sense. Did
Thank
Gary
you.
already make a video, by the way, of how he liked it?
He's got a podcast. I haven't
Yeah,
listened to
right.
it yet.
Probably
but
have
I
to
think he's
listen
mentioned it.
what he
Yeah,
thinks.
mentioned it on there.
That would be great. Yeah. Okay, cool. We've talked so long about it now, but it felt like we talked for like half an hour, honestly speaking, right?
Yeah,
And
it flew by.
it flew by like crazy. I believe that people now get our thoughts about PSVR 2. So obviously, as you've said, we all like it. Probably it's even falling in love with it, even though it's not perfect, right? But it gives us back this kind of fun, simply fun, and this giddiness whenever I think about it. Like I'm truly giddy. I want to get back into it and stream again because it's just like so fun. Oh, oh my god!
Yeah.
This is not being sponsored by Sony, by the way. Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
No.
It
Zero.
should have been.
I know, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It should have been. So cool. So cool.
Well, I think
Yep.
we gave enough. I think we were fair. Like, I think we did
absolutely.
let everybody know that, like, don't go into this with blinders on thinking this is the end all be all headset that's going to be
It's
the
not.
best thing that you
It's
ever
not.
buy.
No.
There are going
It's
to
not.
be issues here, but if you
Yeah.
can get by them, you will have some of the best times you'll ever have in virtual reality.
Really?
Yeah, I think we talked plenty about the shortcomings of this headset. So I'm sure Sebastian will put like a timestamp for specifically
I
what we
will
talked
afterwards.
about,
Yeah.
so that people
Absolutely.
don't think that we're just
Absolutely.
ignoring them. They're
No.
real. They are here. But it's going to be a very different perception, especially for someone who has never tried VR or who only tried
imagine that.
PSVR
Wow.
1. It's gonna blow
Such
their
a
minds.
difference between PSVR 1. It's going to blow their minds. Yeah.
It will absolutely do so. And the hardware is new now. So people are coming out with these nitpicks and like focusing on those disadvantages like Mura and so on and so forth. But I can tell you, in a couple of weeks, nobody will talk about that anymore. And everybody will just talk about their experiences in GT7, in Horizon, in Resident Evil, in whatever comes up. I know that. I've been through that with the Pico 4 as well. In the beginning, they said like, oh yeah, there's also Mura and stuff. But no, they will all come across at one point and enjoy what the hardware has to offer. Yes. So, yep. Anything more?
I would just say that if you are some of those people that aren't sure, I number one, I think the tracking is really good, but I think it will improve. Remember how bad the Quest 2 tracking was, or the Quest tracking was when the Quest 1 tracking when it first came out, and they've done a ton of updates on tracking, and that where it is today is probably the best tracking out there. So I think PlayStation will improve on that, and things like Mura and things like God Rays, a lot of that can be worked out through software as well. So just be patient. I really do think Sony will actually patch some of these things, and you'll see some updates soon.
Exactly. And also, if you suffer from worse Mura than others, or if it like affects you, you can put the brightness back from 100% to 80% or 70%, and that will already help quite a lot. So as a little tip, something that you can try, and it will still be bright enough. Yes. That's it. That's it for today's show. That's it for Season 3, Episode 15 of the Next Dimension podcast. Thank you so much for Todd, your premiere on the show. Hope you enjoyed
for having me. It was so much fun.
Cool, great. And yeah, thanks to all of you, obviously, to be here in the show. And thanks for you out there to watch this show live. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget the thumbs up right now. It helps with the algorithm. Also, what you should do, totally write a comment into the comment section to tell also the algorithm that yes, you do want to see long streams, like the long 2+ hours podcast here on YouTube. So the system will recommend it to others. Also, one more thing, it would be great if you would leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Get out your iPad or iPhone, open the podcast app, and do leave us a 5-star review. And today's show was sponsored by VR Optician. If you ever need lens inserts, like for example, for the PSVR 2, you can get them there. That is everything that we got for today's show. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Yes, that's it. And yeah, like always, we stay online for a moment to calm down. So yeah, Todd, how was it? How did you enjoy to be here on the show?
Yeah, it was super great. I'm super happy that I was able to wake up so early in the morning.
Yeah, thanks so much for that.
No, it's
so much for
awesome.
that.
It was a great conversation, and to have someone on the show that doesn't have one is a great perspective. So it was
yeah,
good.
really.
Honestly, I felt quite privileged to just be in this position, just to listen to all of the positives and negatives. And I think I've come out feeling like I want it more, actually, if I'm honest.
Oh,
So
great. Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
It really is the games. To me, it's a really good headset that's just it's gonna have freaking amazing games, and that's a great combo. And we don't get that combo with every headset that's out there, right? So
I guess unlike you guys, you feel you have to make content, because I'm a bit of a flight sim nerd. I could just buy it and just not show it and just enjoy it. So I'm thinking of doing that, actually.
Heck yeah.
Just to enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's fun how we could just talk about PSVR 2 for 2+ hours. That's all.
Yeah.
Usually we have like 4 or 5 topics to cover. And now, this is what we talk about.
But it's
I hope
huge.
we'll have enough time.
It is huge. I do think it will change the industry. Like the last 2 years, it was like meta only, right? They were like ruling over it, but we needed this. Now there's really another big player that has a chance.
And
like not everyone is comfortable with Pico, right? Because of China. Not everyone is comfortable with Facebook because of Facebook. But Sony, like that's really a company that you can root for.
VR games, not about social media or any business or whatever. It's just solely about VR gaming, and that does excite me.
It's just about the joy of playing games, man. I miss that. I miss
that, right? Yeah.
And here it's back. It's so back now. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited.
Guys, I need to get back into the car now, into GD7.
I know, me too.
It was nice to talk with you. I need to have a look at your times to destroy them. And
I love it. Let's
destroy them.
Let's go.
It's gonna be good. Okay. Thanks everyone for watching this show. Hope you enjoy it, and looking forward to see you next week. And do absolutely subscribe to Q2C VR Gamer, amazing channel with Todd and Eric. VR Flightsim Guy, obviously amazing channel, and Tetiana Disco VR. Oh my goodness, this is a great show to bring you together. And obviously you should also subscribe to MRTV, but probably you have already. So that's it. See you next week. Bye-bye.